problems for Vice President Kamala Harris as a possible replacement. Former President Trump will be in Michigan tomorrow, his first joint rally with running mate J.D. Vance, while the FBI keeps digging for his would-be assassin's motive.
There is conflicting information about whether or not the 20-year-old shooter wrote a threatening message on the gaming platform Steam. Senators were told in a briefing that the shooter wrote, quote, "July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds." But now we're told the FBI cannot confirm whether the Steam account is real or fake yet.
Fox's Brian Yanis. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Accusations against a former government employee. Partly cloudy, 78 degrees on the circle. All clear with the radar. Low of 60 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. A former city employee who worked for the mayor of Indianapolis has been accused of sexual assault. Donnie Burgess reports.
Thomas Cook was the former chief deputy mayor and worked for the campaign team for Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Multiple women have accused Cook of grooming and sexually assaulting them over the last several years, as first reported by the Indy Star. Mayor Hogsett confirmed Friday morning Cook was investigated and disciplined. Cook eventually resigned in 2020 and was asked to leave the Hogsett campaign in 2023. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Banks, hospitals, and even Social Security offices have been affected by CrowdStrike's cyber outage. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says his department still won't let airlines slide.
We have reminded the airlines of their responsibilities to take care of passengers if they experience major delays.
The outage is believed to be the result of a software update from CrowdStrike. The Republican Party is the party of the working man. At least that's according to Indiana's Attorney General Todd Rokita, who spoke with WIBC's Tony Katz this morning.
Republicans in Indiana, Republicans across the nation have that balance right for what the country needs and expects at this time.
Rokita was at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week. He called it beautiful. For the first time in 4 years, NASCAR Cup Series will be back on the oval at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. IMS President Doug Bowles says the time is right for the return with the 30th anniversary of the race.
We felt like, let's try the road course out, see how they do. And then when we started thinking, look, the 30th anniversary is coming up. We ought to go back to the Oval and celebrate that history and heritage.
The Brickyard 400 starts Sunday afternoon. Practice today, qualifying tomorrow. The average price for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.57 per gallon. That's according to GasBuddy.com, and above the national average by about 8 cents. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code TONE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text TONE to 511-511. Text TONE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, here it is. Looking at the north side, it is a crash eastbound 465 at Allisonville Road. 2 right lanes are blocked. Traffic is stopped. Back to Westfield Boulevard, delay time of 50 minutes, 50. Northbound 65 south side. First, we have stop-and-go traffic from Southport Road up to 465. That's because of a stall on the exit ramp to 465. And then stop-and-go traffic because of rerouters from Keystone Avenue up to the south split. Eastbound 70 jammed before Belmont into the south split. Delay continues as you head northbound 65-70. Crash north side 86th Street at Harcourt Road. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A fantastic Friday, mostly sunny skies, low humidity with highs near 79. Mostly clear tonight, comfortably cool once again with lows near 61. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a very special guest on the hotline.
Representative Jim Banks from the great state of Indiana joins us fresh off a week-long trip to Milwaukee and the RNC. Congressman, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's been a great week, a long week. I'm somewhere in Wisconsin right now on my way back to Indiana. A great week for Republicans in Milwaukee. I mean, this was a convention that showed that Republicans are more united than they've ever been in my lifetime before for our Trump-Vance ticket, and excited about the next few months to seal the deal and get Donald Trump back in the White House.
Yeah, I want to talk about Donald Trump here in just a moment because I watched all week long. I know I think it was Tuesday, you spoke and you sat near Donald Trump most of the night, and I want to get into that, but were you there last night when Hulkamania was running wild?
Yeah, I got to tell you, Hulk Hogan is my childhood hero.
Yeah, me too.
So one of many highlights of the week, and he was so good. I mean, and frankly, he said it when he's an entertainer, but he, as a private citizen, as an American, as a folk hero in this great country, he talked about how he felt watching his hero and his favorite president get shot at on Saturday, and he decided enough is enough. I'm gonna go public for the first time ever and endorse a political candidate and do what he can to support and endorse Donald Trump. So it was a lot of fun to have him there, but the crowd was fired up for a lot of reasons, and Hulk Hogan was one of them. But the main event was Donald Trump, the longest convention speech in American history at 91 minutes. It sure went for a long time, but it was a great speech and proved once again that he's the best guy to have in the White House.
Yeah, Congressman, I want to get back to that, but let's go back to last Saturday, and I would like to know where you were, what you were doing, what phone calls were coming in, what phone calls were going out once you learned of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump.
Yeah, I was on my way to dinner with my wife and wasn't paying attention to my phone or the news, and got a call from my staff. And I got to tell you, I mean, President Trump is a friend of mine. He's been a big supporter of mine. I'm a big supporter of his. And when I first heard about it, I was very moved and affected by it. I got the incredible part of it though. You watch that video. Recounted, many times since last Saturday of him getting shot at, knocked to the ground, blood on his face, and to rise up in the way that he did to put his fist in the air to let everybody know that not just that he was okay, but that we're going to be okay. America's going to be okay. A powerful moment. I mean, the most powerful moment perhaps in my lifetime to see that, and then to be with him this week when he came out on Monday and we saw him publicly for the first time since the incident on Saturday. It was a very emotional moment for the thousands of people that were at that arena at the Republican convention. So I spoke with him early on Monday morning to let him know I was in Milwaukee and glad that he's safe. He was very moved all week by the number of people that told him that we are praying for him. I mean, Donald Trump is a man of faith, and I think he's very, very affected by what happened on Saturday, understanding that only by the grace of God, as he said, was he with us at the convention this week, and very moved by people that told him that they were praying for him. You could tell that he was very affected by that.
Chatting with Representative Jim Banks here on the Hammer and Nigel show. You had a chance to sit near Donald Trump at the RNC convention. You were in that little boxed area where it was Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and family and friends. One thing that I've heard from a couple people is that Donald Trump seems different now. He seems a little bit different. Based on the conversations and interactions you've had with Donald Trump, does he seem different?
I don't know. I don't know how anybody can not be different. I mean, I think in his speech last night, it was a long speech, no doubt, but there is something different about Donald Trump, and I think, like I said, I mean, he understands that the miracle that happened on Saturday night, that that if that bullet would have been a millimeter difference, it would have ended his life, no doubt about it. If he wouldn't have turned his head at the moment that he turned his head, he explained it last night. He turned his head because he was motioning toward a chart, and he put the chart up on the screen last night. It was a chart that shows how effective his border policies were versus Joe Biden's border policies, open border policies, and the number of illegals coming to our country. And so it was really, frankly, a boring chart, but it was a chart that saved his life, because when he turned to look at that chart and explain it to the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, it was only because he turned his head that bullet missed him. And he understands that that was an act of God. God spared his life. And I know Donald Trump to be a man of faith, but I think what struck home, not just in his speech last night, but when I was sitting just a couple of feet away from him on Tuesday night in the box for an hour and a half, every time there was a mention of God or faith by any of the speakers, I sat right next to him, and I could feel it. I could sense him reacting to that, affected by that. And I suppose, if anything, that changes a man. I mean, I no doubt about it. But then again, guys, I want to make something very clear. This is still the same Donald Trump that I've always known. This is the toughest man I've ever met in my life. And you saw that on Saturday, but all the hell that he's been through, the lawfare against him, all the fake impeachments, all the fake indictments and convictions, the witch hunt against this man, he does not back down. And that's the American lion president that we need back in the White House to save this country, and why I'm so proud to support him.
Congressman, I've not heard any criticism whatsoever from the Trump campaign concerning the Secret Service. Do you understand, though, how people like Hammer and I, or the public, or maybe even some media, have questions about the security and some of the protocols of the Secret Service and what happened on Saturday, and maybe some of the things that were overlooked on Saturday there in Butler, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I was struck by this too. I mean, the president has never criticized the Secret Service, but I'm going to do it for him. I mean, there were major lapses of judgment. There were failures that happened on Saturday night, and we demand answers for it. This crazy video of the director of the Secret Service at the Republican convention in Milwaukee just 2 days ago. This is really crazy. What the heck was she even doing there, at the same time that she's refusing to answer questions of oversight from members of Congress about why that rooftop was left unguarded, why the local police is squabbling with the Secret Service. There were people on the ground that saw the gunman on the roof, notified police, and nothing happened. I mean, there's serious issues here that we demand answers for. And I think the Secret Service director should resign. Obviously, she should resign immediately because of her failed leadership. And what we're finding out about the woke hiring policies at the Secret Service, the priorities of the Secret Service, the Trump campaign has asked for better protection before, and those requests have gone without any answers and haven't been followed up on. So there's a lot here that Congress must immediately launch investigations as we go back into session this week. Speaker Johnson and other committees of jurisdiction are focused on that. I'm going to be pushing for that as much as I can, too.
Representative Jim Banks joining us here on the Hammer and Nigel show. He's also running for U.S. Senate here in Indiana. Congressman, you were tasked with giving a speech at the RNC convention. Take us through what that speech was about, how you came up with the concept for the time that you had to address the entire Republican Party.
Well, it was an honor. I mean, an incredible honor to speak at a Republican convention, something I've only watched on TV before. So, and this, by the way, this was the best Republican convention I've ever watched on TV, the best political event I've ever been to. It was so well done. The Republican Party is so united. And to take the stage, go up to the same podium that I knew that my favorite president was going to take the stage later in the week, to go up and give a speech, not just in front of my fellow Republicans, including, of course, the Indiana delegation, which had prime seats right in the middle of the convention hall, but to speak to millions of Americans about my background, where I come from. I grew up humble beginnings. I've lived the American dream. I believe in the American dream, and I believe it's under attack by the Democrats more than ever before. And the person who's going to save the American dream in this country is Donald Trump back in the White House, but he needs backup. He needs fighters in the Senate and the House, and that's what I talked about. That's why I'm running for the Senate. I mean, this is no time for wimpy, squishy, go along to get along Republicans in the Senate. This is a time for Republicans with backbone in the Senate to fight back against the radical left and Joe Biden and his policies that's literally destroying the American dream for my 3 daughters, and that's what's at stake. So that's what I talked about. I'm the son of a factory worker and a nursing home cook. I was born in a trailer park. I've seen the very best of what America has to offer in this country, and what kids like me can do if you work hard and dream big in this country. That's what the American dream is all about. We got to protect it. But that's what Republicans stand for.
Yeah, and it's the parallels between your upbringing and the pick for vice president, Donald Trump's pick, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. I mean, this is a guy that you know, talk about somebody that came from nothing, his Appalachian roots and his time in Ohio, and all of a sudden he's got a military background. He's gone to I think did he go to Yale? I believe yes. That's the college he went to, and working in the tech community in San Francisco, and then coming back and writing a Hollywood novel that Hollywood embraced and made a movie out of. Just maybe a couple of comments about Donald Trump's pick for vice president, J.D. Vance, the senator from Ohio.
Yeah, I think this is it's such a significant pick. J.D. Vance, he's a friend of mine. We actually both come. Our families, the Banks family, comes from the same town in Appalachia, Kentucky, as J.D. Vance comes from. So we have a lot in common. We both have bonded over that over the years. The Banks family is a hillbilly family that came from Kentucky to just outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana, for my coal miner grandpa to find a better work in factories in Indiana. And that's the same story that J.D. tells. And this is significant because this is the difference between today, the new Republican Party, and the old Republican Party. The old Republican Party would sell out American workers and American jobs to China, to Wall Street interest, and kowtow to Wall Street instead of Main Street. Instead of voters like my dad, who's a union, hardworking factory worker, the old school Republican Party would pass bills like NAFTA and cater to big business, big multinational corporate interests. The new Republican Party understands that China is our biggest threat, and that we represent the hardworking men and women of this country. That's the change. That's the difference. Donald Trump has made our party, has transformed our party that way. I don't think picking J.D. Vance is about a running mate. I don't even think it's as much about being the vice president. I think it's about the future of the Republican Party, and I'm proud to be a part of that, and I'm really proud that Donald Trump saw that a guy like J.D. Vance is the future opportunity to carry on his legacy for a long time after he's gone.
Congressman, last thing here before we let you go. Were you in the House last night when Kid Rock came on the stage? And if so, did you have the classic white guy overbite bobbing your head like everybody else did?
Maybe. You can probably find me on a video somewhere. I actually started my week out last Sunday with Kid Rock at an event on our way to Milwaukee. He's a great Republican. He's a regular guy. I'm a longtime fan, and I mean, Hulk Hogan takes the cake, right? But
sure. Right.
Kid Rock. This was a great convention. Tucker Carlson's speech last night was the best speech from anybody whose last name wasn't Trump.
Tucker seemed happy. Like he seemed like he was having a good time.
And he told me later that it wasn't, he didn't have a teleprompter. He's probably the only one who spoke without a teleprompter and just spoke from his heart. And it was a great speech. So it was a great week for Republicans. Republicans are united and Democrats are not. They're obviously, the Democrats are imploding, self-imploding as we speak. And frankly, it's a beautiful thing.
U.S. House Representative Jim Banks running for the Senate here in Indiana. Congressman, as always, we appreciate your time.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Matt Baer standing by with a look at the road.
Crash northeast side, eastbound 465 at Allisonville Road. That is blocking 2 right lanes, stopping traffic almost to Meridian Street. Eastbound 70 coming in for the west side 2 downtown. Our travel time's 21 minutes, but we just had a stall pop up right before the south split. That's blocking the left lane, and that'll make things worse. Looking at a stalled oversized low going from 465 to southbound 65 on the south side. This is the south side version. The ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. It's on the off ramp from 465 to southbound 65. It has us backed up on eastbound badly right now. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Man, what a beautiful day.
Unbelievable.
Sunshine, 77 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. We got a little booze news next.
You know, your garage is the first area of your house that you walk into when you get home from work, usually the last place you walk out of when you're on your way to work. It'd be nice if you had a beautiful Galaxy concrete coating on that garage, right? I mean, my old garage floor was so cracked and dirty and uneven and just ugly. And within a day, Galaxy concrete coatings came in. And, you know, I guess the ongoing slogan with me in my garage is my Galaxy concrete garage floor is out of this world. It's 4 times as strong. It's so easy to clean, and it looks great. And if you're thinking they used that epoxy stuff, they didn't. That's the old standard. What they use is polyurea. It's much better. It's the new premium standard for coatings. Also, how about a lifetime warranty? Not that you'll need it. Call Galaxy right now, 751-9070 to set up a quote, or go to GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore, no matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During our Freedom to Drive, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg, Central Indiana's premier arms dealer. They have over 1,200 firearms in stock, the largest selection of used firearms in the area, from pre-Civil War to modern guns. Premier Arms has always put their customers ahead of their profits. They always have ammunition available when a customer buys a firearm. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street. Find them online at premierarms.com. Premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
This Saturday, it's the 58th annual Redbud 400, where the best drivers from the ASA Stars National Tour battle it out on one of the most challenging tracks in racing, Anderson Speedway. The Redbud 400, live this Saturday at Anderson Speedway. Witness racing at its finest. Tickets are selling fast, so don't miss your chance to be part of the action. Visit AndersonSpeedway.com to secure your seats today. Bring your whole family and see why everyone is saying, I'd rather be at Anderson Speedway.
Uline is here for the hard workers, for the ones rolling up their sleeves, working round the clock, and getting the job done. You're dedicated to doing what it takes to keep a business growing. Uline is dedicated to helping you make that happen. Working 7 days a week, staying fully stocked and ready to ship any of our 41,000 items the same day. Uline, your shipping and industrial supply specialists. Visit uline.com.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it. Guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1-1.
We are Curry Booze News, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present
Booze News, Booze News.
Yeah.
Time for Booze News.
Bud Light slipping again, Hammer, falling behind Modelo and Mick Ultra after the boycott last year. I don't think there's a boycott going on anymore, but the residual effects are still lingering. In February, Donald Trump, if you remember, Trump urged supporters to give Bud Light a second chance because Anheuser-Busch is not a woke company. They put that trans dude, Dylan Mulvaney, as a spokesperson. And
it wasn't even a public campaign.
No.
It was like a private thing, and people were so ticked off they said we're done.
So Bud Light is still faltering. Again, Modelo, number one, and I think it's funny because Modelo Mexican Lager is the official sponsor of the USA Olympic team.
Do you have to say it like the full way? Proud sponsor of the USA Olympians, Modelo Mexican Lager.
I guess. I don't know. Mick Ultra is an Anheuser-Busch product as well.
Man, it's really grown in popularity the last couple of years. Because I grew up in an era, and I think you did too, Nige, where Budweiser coined themselves the king of beers. It was the king, Bud Kings, the big red Budweiser. And man, it's really fallen off as the light beers have kind of leapfrogged everything that the quote-unquote king does, and Mick Ultra is now in the conversation.
Yeah, and I think Mick Ultra positions itself as the beer that you drink if you're, I don't know if you're trying to lose weight, if you're watching calories, if you're watching carbs.
Right.
The marketing behind that is and again, it's Anheuser-Busch, so I don't know if, Bud Light, obviously, they overpaid for their participation in the NFL and the UFC and things like that.
And it hasn't helped.
It doesn't seem like it's helped, but I know people that still drink it. A gun guy.
Guy Relford's still a card-carrying
buddies,
Bud Light drinker. But let that sink in for just a second, though, and I'm glad you brought that up. Bud Light had such a catastrophe with this trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney putting out a social media post that Peyton Manning, the NFL, and the UFC couldn't fix. I mean, that's pretty damn strong.
And it's funny, again, Donald Trump urging supporters, if you remember earlier in the year, hey, come on back to Anheuser-Busch. Let's end whatever sort of perceived boycott this is, because Anheuser-Busch does give a significant amount to the Republican Party, more specifically Donald Trump and his campaign.
I believe the correct term is bleep ton. Bleep ton of money going to Donald Trump. So, yeah, is that the greatest marketing mishap of all time? Does Dylan Mulvaney's Bud Light partnership, does that leapfrog New Coke?
I was just thinking that. I don't know. New Coke was a disaster, but that didn't involve politics. That just involved bad marketing.
And Coke itself survived. It was still number one. You know, it still beat Pepsi on the regular. Man, people saw what happened with Bud Light, and they were like, I'm out permanently. I am done. Kiss my ass. You're dead to me. That's wild. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The deals keep coming at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Tony Katz here at Andy Moore Ford. The people, the selection, the service, everything you want. Shop their wide selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, all marked with more savings, so you can be sure you're driving home with the best deal. And their commercial truck center is currently undergoing big changes, which means bigger and better things for you coming soon. Stop by today. Check out every vehicle they have on the lot and all the electric vehicles they've got. The Mustang Mach-E, the E-Transit, and that F-150 Lightning, all in stock with more arriving. driving daily. The all-electric F-150 Lightning has you covered with seating up to 5, intelligent backup power, and onboard power for all your tools and gear. And they've got the incentives, the rebates, the federal, the state incentives that can save you up to $7,500 instantly on site. Talk to Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield about your new car, your new truck, or your new electric vehicle. Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com.
Jay's Lobster and Fish Market at the Garage Food Hall in downtown Indy Bottle Works District, named one of Indianapolis Monthly's best restaurants. We all know Jay. Jay knows seafood. He's bringing the East Coast back home to Indiana. They specialize in the lobster rolls. But have you tried their incredible crab and shrimp rolls as well? They're unbelievable.
And also in the Garage Food Hall, Palavana Cubano, the best Cuban food in Indy and the authentic Cuban coffee. I don't know what they're putting in there, but it's awesome. Palavana Cubano, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Technology's always great until it stops working. 78 degrees, cloudy downtown, all clear with the radar. 60 degrees your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. An IT outage affected millions of people in the country, including some here in Indiana.
The only thing I've had that was impacted is I had to pay for cash for breakfast this morning.
Customers of AES and the Bureau of Motor Vehicles were inconvenienced by the outage. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike says the software updates what caused the issue. It may have even messed up your plans if you had to go to the airport or bank.
The issue has been identified. It's really a matter of the kind of ripple or cascade effect.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. The issue, as mentioned before, likely from a software update. Indiana Social Security offices already closed for the rest of the day. Sexual harassment and assaults are the accusations against a former Indianapolis city employee. Here's Donnie Burgess.
Several women have accused Thomas Cook, former Indianapolis chief deputy mayor, of grooming them over the last several years, which resulted in inappropriate sexual relationships, first reported by the Indy Star. Cook was investigated and punished 3 times, confirms Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett, and Cook eventually resigned from the deputy mayor position in 2020. He was then asked to step away from Hogsett's re-election campaign last year. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A motion in the Delphi murders case has been rejected by the Indiana Supreme Court this afternoon. Defense attorneys for suspect Richard Allen had asked for Special Judge Frances Gall to be tossed from the case. They had claimed she showed bias against their client, Richard Allen, in past rulings. As mentioned before, the state's high court did deny it. Religious leaders are in Indianapolis for the National Eucharistic Congress to promote unity among Catholics, says Deacon Patrick Smith.
We're all about the love of Christ and being with him, and it's that unity of bringing us all together. And so the love that he shares, that relationship, that deep love of relationship, that's what this is all about.
And the event's happening Sunday. It's going to bring about 50,000 Catholics in town for masses, worships, talks, and workshops. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou, a term provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
The traffic at 3:34. Here's Matt Bear.
Crash north side, eastbound 465 at Allisonville Road. The right lane is blocked and a delay just under an hour. Looking at eastbound as 70 coming in, stop traffic from Belmont into the south. There's a stall in the middle of that at Meridian, Illinois, and this is causing stop traffic of about 26 minutes. And then we look at inbound 65. That is now stop and go from the White River down to Meridian Penn. Northbound 65, stop-and-go traffic, Keystone Avenue up to the south split. The oversized load did clear from the ramp 465 to southbound 65 on the south side. That is gone, but we still have a delay going eastbound 465 before 31 to 65 because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. B Window is celebrating independence with big savings. $400 off per window and $250 off select doors plus 12 months same as cash. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for more. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A fantastic Friday, mostly sunny skies, low humidity with highs near 79. Mostly clear tonight, comfortably cool once again with lows near 61. I'm Wish TV's Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nigel. Hammer's here with a very special in-studio guest.
Sitting on a pillow is the traffic beast, Matt Baer. So you had a colonoscopy this past week, so let me just ask it straight out, flat out. How's the cornhole?
It's sore. No, I'm feeling good. St. Franciscan on the south side. It was nothing like I expected, meaning
was this your first one?
It was my first one ever, and there was no procedure to it. I mean, something was done, but it was so bizarre. It's like time traveling. I was talking to the nurses. We were all kind of having a rapport, maybe some numbers, something like that. Next thing I know, I was just out, and then I woke up, and I'm like, okay, when do we start? And they're like, well, we just did it.
Dude, when that gas kicks in or whatever it is they pump into you to put you to sleep, you are out.
Propofol, right? That's what they were using for you? That's what they did for me, I believe. Propofol.
They could have hit me with peyote, and I wouldn't have known. It was hardcore, and I was out, and like I said, I was on my side. That was the bizarre thing because they were positioning me, and they're like, okay, bring the business end towards us. So I'm like, okay, I'm assuming that's my butt. So
business end.
Yeah, so I started moving
This is where we make our businesses, Matt Baer's buttocks.
She said, sir, can I see your business end, please? No, and I just started kind of, scooting towards the nurses, and we were talking and chatting, and next thing, I kid you not, I was just, it was just like my eyes open. It was done.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel a thing. Yeah, it was like nothing had happened.
And it's so easy for dudes to do. Like, I've got some friends in the Andretti family, and John Andretti, longtime racing legend, passed away from colon cancer. And every year they have a big push, check it for Andretti. Check your, backside. Don't be afraid to have that test done if you're a dude, because it could save your life. It's such an easy thing. Like, you don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, and I want to say thanks to you guys, Jason Hammer, Nigel Liskowski, just because listening to you guys on the radio and talk about it, it just, I listen to your show 5 days a week, every day. And I hear you guys talking about the colonoscopy, and I don't have a significant other that would push me into going and get this preventive surgery that's prevented, kind of maintenance done. So just listening to you guys, I'm like, okay, this is something I should do. And I went and I did it, and it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be the rubber glove snapping. I thought there was going to be the big nurse walking in, just...
What are you doing with that plunger?
Right. I had all the stereotypes in my head, and it wasn't like that. And seriously, full compliments go out to Franciscan Health on the south side. This was like a well-oiled machine. I mean...
no pun intended.
I almost said that.
A well-lubed machine.
Didn't even need it out so clean. But it was, from the time I was filling out the paperwork, 11:30, right on time. Everything was on time. And next thing, they knew my ride was outside. They're like, okay, you can go now. They're just like, leave. Yeah, your buddy Carl from the Tony Katz in the Morning News.
Oh,
the
that's
producer,
awesome.
He picked me up. He volunteered.
I thought you were going to say he did it.
Yeah, he did it. He might have. I don't know. Like I said,
you were blacked out. Who knows?
I was blacked out, but everything.
Did they find anything, though, Matt?
They did find a polyp, and they said it wasn't like a big one or anything that they were worried about. But, they sent them off to the lab. But I look at it like this. Say it comes back, and worst case scenario, it is something. I'm glad I had the colonoscopy. If it comes back and it's nothing, I'm glad I had the colonoscopy.
And it's normal for people to have polyps.
Right.
I don't want to freak people out and scare people.
Right.
Nigel, you talked about it. Yeah, you had three
of them. Yeah, okay. And think about it. Those polyps can turn into something while they're in your colon. So one way or another, no matter what angle you come at it from, this was time well spent. This was very good for my health. And I just encourage everybody to do it. And thank you to you guys for encouraging me to do it indirectly.
And the prep beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
That was.
You were here for some of the prep.
I started my prep at like 4 o'clock.
I'm pretty sure we threw it to Matt Bear in traffic a few times, and I'm willing to bet he was in the can.
Yeah, it sounded like there was some sort of echo with a distant toilet flush in the background.
Yeah, I guess you could say 65 wasn't the only thing stopped that day.
But I mean, it is an important thing. I mean, it's fun to talk about and even easy to joke about, but it's really, really important, especially guys in the mid 40s, mid to late 40s. It's time.
Yeah,
it's like a cattle call. I mean, I don't want to sound crude, but like the place I went to, they were all very professional. But that's all day long. That's what they do.
That's
they
cool.
get you in, they get you out. You got to make sure to have a. What you go get to eat afterwards?
Oh, I got myself. I went across to the. Well, you guys talk about it. The Garage Food Hall. I went to the Garage Food Hall.
Oh yeah,
and I went to Mama Fofo's.
Jay's Lobster, Palavana Cubano, all right there.
A gyro or what?
It was so hard to decide. I went to Mama Fofo's. I got my favorite food ever, and that's a gyro.
Nice.
I got a gyro, and it tasted like the best thing I've ever.
And you don't
eaten
ever eat that crap really anymore because your physique. It's chicken and rice and protein and water. That's
water, power bars, and all that crap that nobody else wants to eat.
Fit crunch bars. Yeah, it's a great life. Let me tell you. It's the gyro tasted like candy. It was so good, and you don't have to worry about it because you haven't eaten in a day, so you don't have to count calories or anything. It was beautiful.
Matt Bear, the traffic beast, with us. We got about a minute left here. I know we spent a lot of time talking about butt stuff, so we only got about a minute left here.
Yes.
Construction's everywhere. Backups are everywhere, and lo and behold, it's race weekend, Matt.
Yeah, and I did want to remind everybody in Speedway that Georgetown Road does close tomorrow because of the Brickyard 400. That's going to be 30 minutes before the Brickyard. That's 25th on down. I mean, this is Indianapolis 500 rules here. Also, 16th Street shuts down from Olin over to the big roundabout, and again, that's 30 minutes before the race. Hancock County has a big deal coming up, and it starts tonight at 9 o'clock, goes on for a month. That's the exit to Greenfield from eastbound 70, like you're going from Indianapolis to Hancock County. That closes, and that lasts for about 30 days. Late August is what I'm hearing, so it's going to be bad. We have construction everywhere. Just please mind the construction workers and protect yourself. Just be careful going through these construction zones. Slow down, please.
Check out his podcast, Supporting Sobriety, wherever you get podcasts, and you can find him on Twitter at Matt in Traffic. Matt Bear, glad your butthole's okay. Glad you're all right. You are a rock star.
Love you guys. Thank you for having me.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This is a crazy number. Window Nation installed over 200,000 windows last year. That's 40 times more than the average window company. 96% of those windows required no follow-up service. 5-star reviews all over the place. I have Window Nation windows in my house. They've been there for a couple of years. They still look great. They keep the cold air in, the warm air out. My air conditioning is not working overtime. But if yours is, it's time for new windows. Check out this deal. Buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, plus pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years.
Window Nation. I love these guys. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. See, you had me at free. And if that's not enough, how about this? No down payment, no interest, no payments at all for 24 months. That's just the way that Window Nation gets down. Start the conversation by calling a rep today. They'll answer any question. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Listen up, Hoosier. This is Gunny speaking, and I'm here to tell you what Senator Todd Young is doing about the mess Biden's creating at the border. The Laken Riley Act ain't no walk in the park, soldier. It's a mission to secure our border. When illegals think they can just waltz in and wreak havoc, they got another thing coming. Senator Young's legislation is going to lock them down tighter than a drum. Young ain't just sitting around saluting. No, sir. He's stopping flow of fentanyl like it's enemy number 1. Fighting the flow of fentanyl into Indiana from our southern border, and recognizing that it's causing Hoosier families to lose loved ones far too soon. Joe Biden is responsible for this crisis, and Todd is stopping him. It's time to build the wall, enforce tough immigration laws. Todd Young, I'm a Reed, fighting to protect Hoosiers. Hoorah! Paid for by Hoosier Honor Pack. Hoosier Honor Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at HoosierHonor.com.
Sinus pressure, congestion, snoring, being unable to sleep, being unable to breathe. Yep, it's another sinus infection. You've Googled, watched videos, tried over-the-counter sprays, medications, and home remedies, but nothing ever works. There must be some kind of treatment that can help, right? Indianapolis Sinus Center understands how draining it can be when you try treatment after treatment without any relief. That's why they've been serving and treating the community for over 50 years. Indianapolis Sinus Center has performed thousands of procedures and helped thousands of patients find lasting relief they didn't know was possible. Patients like you. If you've had enough of sinus pain, pressure, and congestion, schedule a visit with Indianapolis Sinus Center today. Call 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward breathing easy. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650 or visit IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
Your Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Discover Masterpiece Quilts at the International Quilters Hall of Fame celebration in Marion, Indiana, July 21st through 23rd. This amazing celebration features world-class exhibits, great workshops and lectures, and the induction of the 2024 honoree. Get details at showmegrantcounty.com. Grant County, Indiana. Classic, cool.
Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
B Window is celebrating our independence with $400 off per window, $250 off per patio and entry door, plus 12 months same as cash. Go to bwindow.com for more.
Coming up here in just a moment, we're going to drag Rob Kendall in here. I know it's not Thursday for Off the Rails, but Rob, we're going to drag him in here to talk about Boss Hogsets, right-hand man Thomas Carl Cook. Oh, it's not good. That's Conversations coming up right after Matt Bear's traffic.
Eastbound is 70th Thunderdome stop-and-go traffic after Tibbs into the south split. There's a stall in the left lane around Meridian, and that has a delay time right now of 20 minutes. Looking at northbound, 65 slow after Southport Road up to 465, then stop-and-go from Keystone Avenue up to the south split. Going from Keystone to the south split right now is taking us about 18 minutes. Looking at westbound 70 stop-and-go traffic from rural into the north split, and eastbound 465 on the north side, crash clear Allisonville Road. All lanes have reopened. Still stopped, though, after Meridian past Keystone. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of their locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
78 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Hammer's here with an unexpected special guest in studio.
If this were wrestling, right now the stone cold glass breaking music would happen, and you'd hear the announcer go, "By God, that's Rob Kendall's music."
Rob!
Sun shines a little brighter today, doesn't it, fellas?
So Rob joined us yesterday for the usual Off the Rails segment.
Sure.
Rob and I had a pretty spirited back and forth. But today, Rob and I are on a united front, and that's talking about one of the great scumbags, allegedly, that has existed in this city for a while, and that's Thomas Carl Cook. Tell us about who this guy is, Rob.
Yes, he was the deputy mayor under Hogsett. He
Number two guy.
Yeah,
I mean, in the city.
And he basically, if you don't have to look very hard to realize, he was basically running the show over there. I mean, he was from policy to politics. He was involved in all the Hogsett campaigns. He ran just the most recent one, even though he had resigned the mayor's office. And this guy.
And if you do a Google image search on this guy, first of all, we said earlier, he looks like the anorexic Kenny Loggins. And he's the other half of that iconic picture during COVID where Boss Hogsets got his big grill on a piece of pizza and he's giving you the double birds. This is what they think about you.
Yeah, and he obviously went out of his way to be an ass to people. He thought many things that were happening in the city were funny. I mean, he took great pride in being a jerk to people who were very concerned about what has gone on with rioting, with crime, with violence in the city of Indianapolis. He thought this was all fun and games.
And now, according to the Indy Star, there's harassment allegations over the past few years during his time in the Hogshead administration.
Yeah, it was an incredible piece. James Briggs and Haley Colombo put this piece out in Indy Star today.
Now, look, we will rip the Indy Star when I feel like they need to be ripped, but every once in a while they do some good work. The Michigan State stuff, the Larry Nassar stuff, and it looks like Briggs and Colombo got their receipts here.
Yeah, it was very well written. It was very well sourced. They talked to these women. One of the women went on record with her name, which is very powerful. And they have these text messages. They have audio recordings. And they have investigations, through public records requests, et cetera, by the Hogshead's administration into this guy. And it appears pretty clear that he allegedly was using his position of power to make people who worked around him at the very least feel very uncomfortable, and in some cases
grooming. The word grooming kept on popping up in that article.
Positions they didn't want to be in. And so, this is a really bad look for a guy who went out of his way to take great glee and great pride in people who are concerned about the city of Indianapolis, who hated the direction of the city of Indianapolis. And it is amazing to me how long it actually took for this to come out into the public.
These are accusations. Innocent until proven guilty. I saw one of the anonymous sources use the word sexual assault. He's never been charged with a crime. So my question is, this is a deep investigation here by the Indy Star, but why is this news?
First of all, it's news because $43,000, according to the article, was spent investigating the guy, right? And
by Hogshead, by the city.
And this is the guy who was the right-hand man of the mayor. They kind of described the no door open to the mayor unless you walked through this guy. And he allegedly, based on these allegations made by these women, which again are backed up by, according to Indy Star, text messages, audio recordings, was using that position of power to have these women do things that they weren't comfortable doing. Now,
what are some of the more damning takeaways from this story?
Well, here's what stands out to me. So he leaves in 2020. And at the time, they had kind of guised his leaving as, hey, he's moving on, he's doing something different. According to this Indy Star article, he left because he was going to get the can.
Yeah.
They were fully aware, Hogshead and that administration was fully aware. He had been warned multiple times about this. And so he leaves in 2020. He's back running Hogshead's camp. Now, he's an unpaid person, but he was running Hogshead's campaign in 2023. So Joe Hogshead knows what this guy is. He knows what he's accused of doing. He clearly felt strong enough about it that he was going to run him out if he didn't quit. And then he's got him back running the campaign again.
And listen, you talk to a lot of inside people. Abdul talks to a lot of inside people. It sounds like this is maybe the worst kept secret over there in the mayor's office.
And he was so brazen, like, to know you're doing this stuff, to know people know you're doing this stuff, allegedly, and you're still so brazen about the way you're behaving on social media. You're flipping people off. You're getting into, back.
He was a troll of this radio station. He was Mr. Hot Take guy, this anorexic Kenny Loggins, Mr. Tough guy here, trying to troll us all the time. And now, lo and behold, it's coming full circle. But karma, man, I'm telling you, it might not be swift, but it's often just.
But it tells you a lot about Hogshead. The fact that he knew what this guy was. They had to spend all this money investigating him. He was warned multiple times. It had reached a point where they felt they had to get rid of him if he didn't quit. And then he's got him back running the campaign. It really tells you a lot about who Joe Hogshead is.
And it tells you about the city, doesn't it, Nige? Because let's just say if the rumors are true and Hogshead's half in the tank sometime, this is the guy that you trusted to kind of run the show here, this pervert, allegedly?
Well, and you don't know. What we do know is that Hogshead didn't give the order to surrender the circle. What we don't know is who gave that order, what that order entailed, and we know the police had it under control in 2020 until the order was given to allow those people to take the circle, and then all hell broke loose. And if I'm Thomas Cook, I'm not going down for Joe Hogshead. he needs to tell everybody where Hogsett was during the riots, because he's one of the people who
yeah.
definitely knows, without debate, without discussion, where Joe Hogsett was during the riots.
I don't know if you guys read the very end of that article, but one of the women that came forward and gave her name, Roberts, I believe was her last name, finally confronted Joe Hogsett at the city market some years later, because it was very hard to get their complaints to his desk. And she confronted Hogsett at the city market. This was the last part of the article. It's pretty powerful. And Hogsett was like, yeah, sorry about that. I did get your messages. And that was the end of the article from the Indy Star. I mean, like,
shocking that Hogsett couldn't get another job. I am shocked, Rob.
Well, look, the city does sporting events very well. The city does big events very well. But the day-to-day operations of this city are a complete disaster. This city is a train wreck when there's not a big event to be put on. And one of the major reasons it is a train wreck is you had people like this guy and Joe Hogsett calling the shots.
Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. Rob, thank you.
Thank you.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere, but the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Did you know you can experience the ultimate rejuvenation with our unique hot tubs made right here in Indianapolis? Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs compatible with Epsom salts. Imagine the tensions melting away as you step into the luxury of a Royal Spa hot tub. And now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We built our inventory back up and now have new models, scratch and dents, and even demos ready for delivery. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa. You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus. Are you in need of a new mattress, sofa, sectional, recliner, lift chair, even a big green egg? If so, then you're in luck. Now through Monday, it's our Made in the USA sale. We guarantee you the best price, best service, and free delivery on everything from Smith Brothers, Lazy Boy, Stearns & Foster, Pollywood, and more. Lowest prices of the year now through Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Local news coming up after Fox News from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A mistake. Major companies affected, including Starbucks, Verizon, and FedEx, along with airports, 911 centers, and ports.
Hospital systems, they're saying interruptions too. Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center here in New York says most of their systems and procedures are reinstated now. But just earlier today, it reported pausing the start of some procedures that required anesthesia.
Fox Business's Lydia Hu.
The cause of all of this mess is cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. The company says the problem happened when it issued a faulty update to customers running Microsoft.
Now, CrowdStrike says it deployed a fix, but the damage is done for its stock, dropping more than 10%. The Dow down 389 points at the bell. 32 Democrats in Congress are now calling on President Biden to drop his reelection bid. Several new additions to that list today as the president spends time in Delaware with a case of COVID. In a written statement, though, he says he looks forward to getting back on the campaign trail next week.
The campaign is assailing reports that the president's own family is discussing what his withdrawal would look like. They have been telling reporters they just have bad sources. But the daggers keep coming. Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, another California Democrat from a safe blue district, joined calls for the president to drop out of the race.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Lofgren, a close ally of two other California Democrats, former House Speaker Pelosi and Congressman Schiff. Louisiana's new law requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in all public school classrooms is delayed until at least November. This under an agreement approved by a federal judge today, allowing that hold as a lawsuit plays out. Parents of students with various religious backgrounds are suing, claiming constitutional violations. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He used to work for Hogsett. A mix of clouds and sunshine at the Circle, 78 degrees. You got clear radar, low of 60 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A former city employee who worked for the mayor of Indianapolis has been accused of sexual assault. Donnie Burgess reports.
Thomas Cook was the former chief deputy mayor and worked for the campaign team for Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Multiple women have accused Cook of grooming and sexually assaulting them over the last several years, as first reported by the Indy Star. Mayor Hogsett confirmed Friday morning Cook was investigated and disciplined. Cook eventually resigned in 2020 and was asked to leave the Hogsett campaign in 2023. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Banks, airlines, credit companies, and electric companies were all affected by a worldwide IT outage today. This woman works at a staffing company in Indy.
I was able to access my bank account. I got my paycheck today. I'm all right. I'm feeling bad for everybody at the airport.
Thousands are stranded in airports around the country as Delta, American, and United dealt with delayed or canceled or grounded flights. Some slight improvements were shown in the latest iLearn results, but those results still are not where they need to be. State Rep Ed Delaney of Indianapolis tells Wish TV most Republicans in the chamber aren't doing enough to help out public schools.
They're wasting our time, they're wasting our money, but more importantly, they're wasting the lives of our children.
Some teachers believe the iLearn exam should not be the only metric the state uses to track the learning process of its students. And Indiana State Police say they're taking part in a friendly competition with a few other state police agencies. John Herrick reports.
It's called the Best Looking Cruiser Contest. They submitted a photo taken in Indianapolis during the solar eclipse in April of their Dodge Durango during the path of totality. The winner not only gets the Best Looking Cruiser award, but they also get featured on the cover of the America's Best Looking Trooper Cruisers 2025 wall calendar. You can purchase those calendars at the American Association of State Troopers website this fall, and all of the sales benefit the American Association of State Troopers Foundation. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all or your money back. Seminar 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport in Indianapolis, or 2 p.m. on Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Indianapolis Northeast in Noblesville. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
The traffic in the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison, looking at northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic in parts from Southport Road up to the South Split. That's a 20-minute drive here at the moment. And eastbound 465 on the south side, stop through the construction, 31-265. Looking at eastbound 70, stop traffic from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split, moving in parts, but we have a stall at Meridian blocking the left lane for a travel time of 26 minutes. Inbound 65 jammed, MLK to Meridian Penn. Westbound 70 stop and go before rural down to the south split. And on the northeast side, eastbound 465, the crash cleared at Allisonville Road. Now we have another one after Keystone Avenue blocking 2 left lanes, stopping traffic back to Westfield Boulevard. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A fantastic Friday, mostly sunny skies, low humidity with highs near 79. Mostly clear tonight, comfortably cool once again with lows near 61. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
There you go, number 45, possibly soon to be number 47. Donald Trump, last night accepting the Republican bid for the presidency at the RNC convention, Milwaukee. The last night, Hammer, I thought his speech was on point. I thought it was emotional, especially the first 30 to 45 minutes was compelling. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. We'll get to the rest of the speech here in a little while. I did think it went on a little long, and we can get to that here in a minute. But I don't know. As far as the testosterone was concerned last night.
Yes, sir.
I mean, wow. Yeah, they brought it. The RNC brought it last night, for sure.
Toxic masculinity night, right? So here are some highlights of some of the things that were leading up to Donald Trump. And imagine waking up from a coma. Let's say you had a car crash in 1998, and you just now woke up. And you turn your eyes to the television and you see the news promoting coming up tonight to speak at the RNC, Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock. Like, that would blow your mind, right? And what if I told you that of all these political speakers, all of these special guests, the star of the show, the best speech of the night was the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania was running wild all over Milwaukee last night.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States?
Brother.
Enough was enough.
Ripping off the shirt.
Said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
And a big USA chant starts right after that.
Yeah, he ripped off. He was wearing like a blazer or something like that. It was obviously, he ripped it off and had the Trump Vance red sleeveless shirt on underneath what he was originally wearing on stage.
Right. So he came out in the first 5 minutes in character as Hulk Hogan, right? And he's doing all the Hulk stuff, listening to the crowd with the hand up to the ear, saying, "Let me tell you something, brother."
And it's funny when they cut to the box where all the Trumps were sitting, Melania just is so prim and proper. She's just sitting there with kind of a smile on her face, but not exactly sure what's happening. I mean, she's smart enough to know what's happening, but she, when Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan and everybody were up there just making a scene, it was pretty funny.
Trump was into it, though. Trump was standing up.
Yeah.
He was all in.
And so was Eric and Jr., for that matter.
And what was great about the Hogan speech, again, the first 5 minutes, total character, right? If you grew up in the 80s and you remember Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, that's who you got in the first 5 minutes. But then after that, he kind of broke down and said, all right, that was my character, Hulk Hogan. My real name is Terry Bollea. I'm an American, and let me tell you why I want to vote for Donald Trump.
Brother.
I don't think I've ever seen Hulk Hogan outside of a court deposition or something break character where he tells you his real name is Terry and Hulk Hogan's a character. That was pretty cool, I thought. But then he brings it home by ripping off the shirt and the crowd's going crazy. When I was told Hulk Hogan was going to speak, I didn't know how it would play. But man, he brought the energy, he brought the juice, and based on what I saw on social media, everybody felt like a kid again. Again, if you're around our age, 46, 48 years old, you felt like a kid again last night when Hulk Hogan was on the stage. So what we've got for you right now is a little montage of Hulk Hogan at the RNC convention saying the word brother.
Brother.
Let me tell you something, brother. He's always told you exactly what he thought, and he still does, brother. All you lowlifes, all you scumbags, all you drug dealers, and all you crooked politicians need to answer one question, brother. What you gonna do when Donald Trump and all the Trumpomaniacs run wild on you, brother?
And listen to that crowd pop, man.
Oh, they love it.
The biggest crowd pops of the night went to Hulk Hogan and Tucker Carlson.
Oh, well, when Tucker got introduced, he was kind of the first to speak within that line. And let's not forget Franklin Graham as well, I believe.
He had to follow Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
After Hulk Hogan rips off his shirt and he's, doing the Hulkster.
But that was fine.
Please welcome the Reverend. It's so good. But yeah, Tucker, man, he got a louder ovation than J.D. Vance did.
I think so.
Also, last night, Kid Rock came out and performed American Badass.
They call me cowboy, I'm the singer of black. Throw a fist in the air, let me see where you at. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say Trump, Trump.
And what cracks me up is that there are so many people I saw on social media, obviously lefties. Look at how trashy the Republican convention is. Look at that white trash Super Bowl of Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock, Dana White. Meanwhile, they're the party of thinking that men can have periods, 85 piercings, and dudes with blue hair. So maybe you pump the brakes just a little bit.
I will say Kid Rock, he did he was singing to a track. Lee Greenwood got to introduce Donald Trump. He had the whole band. I think Kid Rock should have had his whole band there. He did change up some of the lyrics to American Badass. Fight,
right.
Referencing Donald Trump lifting up his fist on Saturday at that rally and things like that. I thought it was pretty good considering it was just Kid Rock out on stage by himself, no band, which he's probably more comfortable with his band around him, but he's still good. I thought he did a great job.
So Kid Rock was right before Dana White, the UFC president.
Dana brought Trump on.
He did. He was the guy that kind of brought Donald Trump on like it was a UFC octagon fight, right? Dana White brought the energy, but he also told about his relationship that he's had with Donald Trump over the last decade.
And I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know. And I know President Trump. I know President Trump is a fighter. I've been saying this since 2015. Now look at what's happened over the last 10 years. We have all seen it with our own eyes. I'm in the tough guy business, and this man is the toughest, most resilient human being that I've ever met in my life.
Dana White, UFC president. And then Donald Trump came on. And you kind of alluded to this earlier, Nige. It was kind of a tale of two speeches, even though it was all into one.
Yeah.
The first 30 minutes I thought were really good, especially when he was honoring the life of Corey Comparator, the firefighter who lost his life last Saturday at that rally in Pennsylvania where the assassin tried to take out Trump. He died covering his family, being a human shield. They brought out his firefighter's uniform on the stage. Donald Trump talked about him, walked over, kissed the helmet. Man, that was powerful to me. I thought that was really good. But then I see on social media these little wieners like Kyle Griffin. He's a producer at MSNBC. The name is spelt wrong on the jacket, trying to make it look like Donald Trump was capitalizing on the situation.
Why are producers from any media outlet putting out their opinions on social media? Who cares?
Well, this little you-know-what does it all the time. He thinks he's a personality.
Okay, yeah,
trying
that's a
to
problem.
make it look like Donald Trump was capitalizing on this horrific situation. But the real reality is that's how his name was spelled on his firefighter jacket. The jacket came from the fire department and the police. It was missing an A in his name. And they were trying to shame Donald Trump for that. But that's how it really came. And I'm telling you, that little you-know-what at MSNBC knew that, but he still put the tweet out anyway. So anyway, here's Donald Trump talking about the shooting.
When I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear, I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet, and moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage.
Yeah, as he told that story, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I couldn't, turn away.
And again,
Powerful.
The second half of the speech, I thought, got a little long, got a little rambling, right? He became
all right.
rally Trump.
Yeah, that's Trump.
But the first half, talking about this situation, was incredible.
When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over, but I could see it, and I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air, you've all seen that, the crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania.
Again, first half of the speech, amazing. Second half got a little long, I'm not going to lie.
But I think the totality of the RNC was positive. It was fun. And I got the feeling everybody there was enjoying themselves.
So, in honor of the Hawkster, Hulk Hogan, stealing the spotlight last night, Allison, kill this traffic music. I think we need a little something else here. Oh, we need to hear from another real American in the traffic center. It's Matt Bear.
You got a hammer looking at eastbound 465 after Keystone Avenue. Crash after Keystone, and 3 lanes are currently blocked, stopping traffic almost to Meridian. That's 59 minutes on the delay time. Southbound 65 at Meridian Bend, stall blocking the center lane, stopping traffic past MLK to the White River, and that's a delay time right now of 37 minutes. Looking at eastbound 70, at least a stall cleared at Meridian, Illinois. Still stop traffic Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. At northbound 65, stop and go traffic coming up from Southport Road up to the South Split. That is a 20-minute ride at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
79 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up next, a fun, a spirited, slightly intoxicated round of Is This Anything? 79 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Sinus pain. You know it all too well. It's constant. It's frustrating. The pressure, the headaches, the snoring, the constant clogged feeling. You're tired of feeling like this, but you've tried nasal sprays, over-the-counter medicines, even home remedies. No matter what you try, nothing gives you lasting sinus relief. You're tired of missing out and feeling miserable. There is something you can do, something different. Indianapolis Sinus Center. The physicians at Indianapolis Sinus Center have been serving the community with proven treatments for over 50 years. They know what you're going through, and they're standing by ready to offer you the best treatments to provide long-term relief. Breathe better. You don't have to keep suffering from sinus pain. Call Indianapolis Sinus Center today at 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward relief. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650 or go to IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Hey race fans, this is Tim Wicker from Electric Plus. When you're looking for an electrical contractor to take care of your next construction project, facility upgrade, or simple maintenance work, make sure you call Electric Plus to give you a professional and top quality project with the best team members in the industry. Just like race car drivers desire to be the best, the mission of Electric Plus is to be the best electrical contractor, period. Visit our website at electricplus.com to see how we can take care of your electrical needs.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
It's almost here. The best days of summer return this August with your 2024 Indiana State Fair. Join us for endless fun, where there's something for everyone. Take a stroll and enjoy your favorite traditions, or enjoy one of the many new additions. This year, we're celebrating the art and nature of fun, presented by Newfields. Grab discount tickets today at indianastatefair.com. 15 magical days full of fun. Returns August 2nd through 18th. Closed Mondays. Plan your trip today and save big. See you at the fair.
My grades were bad.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of.
There are students who need somebody.
Communities in Schools is helping more than 1.3 million kids get whatever they need to succeed in school. You can help change the picture of education at communitiesinschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is this anything, Nige?
Come on.
Two Spirit Airline gate agents totally freaked out while trying to control an onslaught of passengers at the Hollywood Burbank Airport this past week. Both of them have been suspended. Here's a little bit of their lectures, their fit, and their tirade.
Everybody's attention right now! You all want to get on this flight or not?
Yes, we do.
All right. Now everyone's going to shut up, and we're going to say this once, and we're only going to say it again because we're frustrated as hell. Please be quiet so I can think of what's going on. I don't even know what aircraft is here because everybody's screaming numbers. I don't know what I have. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what aircraft's sitting out there and don't know what's going on. You guys won't give me a minute. Please give me a minute.
Wait a minute. These were the gate agents? These weren't passengers. These were employees of Spirit Airlines?
Yes, sir.
This is something. Good for them. Because what I found is most passengers are a-holes, especially when things aren't going their way. If there's delays, if there's a problem with their ticket, they turn into complete jerks. And sometimes the gate agents have to turn into jerks themselves to combat. Now, you told me with the headline there that they have been suspended. No, come on, bring them back. They know how to get They know how to get a crowd under control.
And that's what happens when you buy on the cheap, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines, Frontier, and even Southwest, they pride themselves on being the cheaper airlines. And that's great because some people don't have the money that others have.
I'm flying Allegiant in October.
Allegiant's another one, right? I've been there as well. But you got to understand, when you buy the cheap airlines, sometimes you get cheap people.
And I don't know what these airline gate agents make. I don't know what the flight attendants make. I'm sure it's pretty good money, but it's got to be stressful, especially on days like today when there was a security breach or whatever. It was CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity thing that uploaded an update, and companies from banks to airlines, businesses, the Department of Motor Vehicles, I know here in Indy uses that stuff. A huge glitch today sent everybody into a spiral, shut everything down. I couldn't imagine the stress they have to deal with, especially with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of passengers, kind of like, being jerks.
Right.
I'm not saying all the passengers, and I'm not saying it's not warranted in some cases. Some airline attendants can be jerks. I like that these gate agents were trying to get things under control real quick. This is something. Do they need to be suspended? Probably should be have a review of some sort by their superiors. Yeah, probably.
Is this anything? What if I told you there was a brawl at a club? Does that surprise you at all?
At a club? No. Huh.
What if I told you there was a brawl at Sam's Club? Would that surprise you at all?
Actually, I don't think so.
A big fight broke out at Sam's Club last week when a mother and her daughters attacked a worker who said it was too late to order pizzas because it was 2 minutes before the store closed. Here's the worker talking about the attack.
I was not expecting that at all. I just came in for a regular shift. And Mom, she gets upset and she goes from the front of the register and she comes back into the kitchen. And when she comes into the kitchen, she swings on me. When she swings on me, she punches me in my face. And then her two daughters come from the front.
Yeah, typical sense of entitlement from a lot of these customers. 2 minutes before you close, you come and ask for a pizza. No, sorry, it didn't work that way. And we see this over and over again. The unsung heroes of this industry are the people that have to work behind the counter of these food places, whether it's Costco, whether it's Sam's Club, whether it's McDonald's or any fast food chain. Jerks come in at the last minute and think because you're working at a fast food joint, they have some sort of power over you. They have some sort of, they are elite. They are better than you.
They're pulling a Thomas Carl Cook is what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, that's a very nuanced comparison, but sure. Yeah, we could get into that later, of course. But in the mother was arrested. Good. I'm not sure what happened to the daughters. But man, these people that are working behind the counter of some of these places, it's not a glamorous job. They're making money. They're doing the right thing. If you come in 2 minutes before they close and you ask to order a pizza, doesn't work that way. Sorry, you're out of luck.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
According to a 2023 Gallup poll, 71% of non-retired adults are worried about retirement saving. At Howard Bailey Financial, we don't believe retiring with confidence should be guesswork. In fact, our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we provide our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you won't outlive. To receive your complimentary toolkit, text CLARITY to 866-482-9559. Take a step toward a more confident retirement with Howard Bailey Financial and text CLARITY to 866-482-9559.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Hopefully you're not at an airport right now. Partly sunny, 78 degrees downtown. Your radar's clear, 60 your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:32. The effects of Friday morning's CrowdStrike cyber outage could linger for a few days, says Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
If you're planning to fly today, you definitely want to check with your airline, get the latest information.
The former South Bend mayor says airlines have been reminded that they have an obligation to take care of your needs as a customer. Indiana Social Security offices have been closed for the day. A motion filed by the defense in the Delphi murders case has been rejected by the state's high court. They were asking for the Supreme Court to remove Judge Frances Gold from the case, claiming she showed bias in her rulings against suspect Richard Allen. President Joe Biden says he's looking forward to getting back to his campaign next week. The president said in his statement today he's still self-isolating out in Delaware while he recovers from COVID, which he tested positive for a couple days ago. He still has mild symptoms. Sexual harassment and assaults are the accusations against a former Indianapolis city employee. Donnie Burgess reports.
Several women have accused Thomas Cook, former Indianapolis chief deputy mayor, of grooming them over the last several years, which resulted in inappropriate sexual relationships, first reported by the Indy Star. Cook was investigated and punished 3 times, confirms Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett, and Cook eventually resigned from the deputy mayor position in 2020. He was then asked to step away from Hogsett's re-election campaign last year. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Thousands of Catholics are in Indianapolis for the National Eucharistic Congress, but some people have told attendees they're not welcome in the city.
And so it was a great privilege, honestly, for me to simply introduce myself to these people, to thank them for saying anything to me, trying to do the best that I can to be a face of mercy, a face of unity, and a face of love for them.
Father Luke Doyle is visiting from Kansas City. The Congress, the first in the U.S. in over 80 years, runs through Sunday. And at the closing bell, the Dow was down by 377 to 40,287. The NASDAQ dropped by 144, finishing at 17,726. And the S&P 500 dropped by 39 to 5,505. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
The traffic at 4:35. Here's Matt Baer.
Eastbound 465 north as side crash after Keystone Avenue, blocking 3 left lanes, getting by in the right lane, left shoulder only, stopping us to Meridian 31 and a delay time of 71 minutes. Looking at northbound as 65 as we reroute around the southeast side closure, we have stop and go traffic Southport Road up to the south split, 27-minute wait. Also looking at eastbound 70, stop traffic Tibbs Avenue into the south split. The stall did clear at Meridian, still 27-minute travel time. We have a stall coming into downtown towards the north split. It's inbound 65 at Meridian Penn, right in the middle of the interstate center lane blocked, backed up to White River Bridge, 34-minute travel time. Traffic sponsored by B Window. B Window is celebrating independence with big savings, $400 off per window and $250 off select doors plus 12 months same as cash. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for more. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we'll have a few clouds early in the evening, but those will fade away overnight. Temperatures will drop into the upper 50s, and winds will be out of the northeast at 5 to 10. Moving towards Saturday, we have another sunny day with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Oh, yeah! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a very special guest on the hotline.
Tommy Pigott is the Strategic Communications Coordinator for the RNC. Tommy, man, big week up in Milwaukee, the Republican National Convention up there. Were you there up in Milwaukee?
I was, yes. And I can tell you the excitement for President Trump, the unity of our party, it's never been stronger. And the convention was definitely a testament to that.
What were you doing there? Like, as a member of the RNC, what were your duties day to day there? I'm assuming you were extremely busy every day that week, this week in Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we do is there's a convention team that has been planning this for years, and we, at a basic level, plug into their operation. We're helping them with the communications. We do a lot of media, for example. We do a lot of trying to get stories pitched. We do a lot of social media around it and a lot of other products to make sure we're amplifying it. And then, honestly, you never know what's going to come, right? So that with big events like this, there's always something that needs to be done or something that needs to happen. And part of our job, in addition to the communications aspect, was just making sure that we were successfully coordinated with the team there and made sure everything ran as smoothly as possible.
And we'll get to Donald Trump's remarks here in just a moment. Last night being the first time publicly he addressed the assassination attempt a weekend ago. But take me through the vibe last night. We kind of dubbed it Toxic Masculinity Night, which we were totally here for. You know, you had Hulkamania running wild. You had Tucker Carlson. You had Kid Rock. You had Dana White. Take me through the juice inside the Pfizer Forum.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway, if you describe all of those people, is that they're fighters. They're famous fighters, in fact, and they're people that know how to take a punch, know how to stand up for what they believe in, know how to stand up for the people that they need to stand up for. And that's what we saw from the speakers. And President Trump is a fighter. And so I think the speakers that were talking were about reinforcing and showing the fight that President Trump has. And I think that's undeniable after what we've seen the assassination attempt last Saturday, his response to that, the fact that this speech was mere days after that happened, just days, and it was 90 minutes. I mean, President Trump puts America first. He's fighting for this country. He's motivated to fight for this country, and he showed that last night, and the entire convention showed that the Republican Party is about putting America first and saving our country.
Yeah, that first half hour especially very emotional with Donald Trump, him going step by step on what happened on that stage. He said he probably never wants to talk about it again in terms of, the timeline and everything. But yeah, certainly that first 30 minutes, extremely emotional, especially when he was talking about the fallen firefighter and how the firefighter saved his family's life, jumped on top of them. But really, it's got to be weighing heavy on Donald Trump on some level. This guy came to see Donald Trump. It was the reason he was there, and he didn't walk out alive. And I love the fact that every time Donald Trump speaks or an eyewitness speaks, they talk about the rally attendee that lost his life.
Yes, and our prayers with him and with his family and with those who were hurt. And I think what we are really seeing from them is the testament to their character, the fact that so many have spoken about how great they were and what amazing people they were, and how selfless they were, how they were willing to put others ahead of themselves. And we really see testaments to those facts. And I think President Trump, in terms of how he's reacted, one of the things that he talked about in the initial interviews he did after the assassination attempt was he was asked why did he stand up and give that fist bump. And it was, he said, first to signal that he was okay, and second to signal to America and the world that America moves forward and America is strong. And I don't know if there's many people whose first thought would have been for the American people after something like that happened, but that was President Trump's first thought. His first thought was for the American people and for the people at that rally. And that shows the type of leader he is, and that shows the character that he has.
Tommy, what's your response when you hear a lot of people say, I love the beginning part of Donald Trump's speech, but it just went on so long. He didn't get on the stage until late, Eastern time. He didn't wrap up his remarks until after midnight. What's your response when you hear that?
Well, at a basic level, I'd say we know from reports that Joe Biden can't stay up past 8 p.m. And President Trump ended his speech after midnight. And I think that shows the energy that he has, the ability he has to stand up there and deliver that message. I thought it was an incredibly compelling speech. And part of the reason why it was long is because there's lots that we need to do. There's lots that we need to solve, and there's lots that we need to address. And President Trump has the record to back it up. He has the vision to back it up. And he's the man that will bring our country together and, quite simply, make America great again.
Tommy Pickett is our guest. You can find some of his work on the popular Twitter handle @RNC Research. Tommy, I know you don't want to give away all the secrets here, but is there any contingency plan brewing behind the scenes of what if it's not Joe Biden that Donald Trump's running against?
Look, whoever they put up, we're going to be ready because President Trump is the man that will turn this around. If it's Kamala Harris, she has a lot to answer for. She has to answer for the exact same policies that Biden has put into place. She has to answer for why she didn't raise the alarm about Biden's mental capacity earlier. Those are serious questions she needs to answer. If it's Gavin Newsom, he needs to answer for the failed record in California. I mean, if you can go one by one, the problem that the Democrats have in terms of who they put up is that they all embrace the exact same failed policies. So President Trump is leading against all of these Democrats because he, in contrast, has the policies that work. He has the policies to make America wealthy, safe, and strong again. And he's going to implement those policies when he wins. So we're prepared, we're ready to go. And that's because we have a candidate who is an amazing messenger and who has an amazing record to back up that message.
Tommy, expand on something you talked about at the beginning of this segment, the vibe around this convention in Milwaukee. I can't really remember another time that we've spent this much time extensively talking about the GOP convention. I mean, 2020 was kind of messed up because of COVID. 2016, obviously, maybe was an exciting time. I really don't remember much about that, but the overall vibe, the emotion, it was palpable, the excitement with this convention and the members of the Republican Party, wasn't there?
It was, and I was speaking with several delegates who have gone to several conventions. This was my first convention, and they said this was the most unified they've ever seen the Republican Party at a convention, and it was the most enthusiastic they've ever seen the Republican Party at a convention. And that's because of President Trump. That's because of President Trump's leadership. And of course, after what happened on Saturday, this was a historic moment about reflecting where we are as a country, reflecting where we need to go as a country, and making sure we come together. And that's exactly what this convention was doing. And that's why I think so many Americans watched, because they also recognized that this was a moment where we need to have those discussions. We need to reflect and come together. And President Trump offered that vision to do it. And we heard from so many Americans that voted for Joe Biden in 2020 who are now voting for President Trump in 2024, everyday Americans. And I think we're seeing more and more of that because people are seeing the results, and you can't argue with results. One, in terms of President Trump being a success, and the other in Joe Biden being a failure.
Tommy, you bring up everyday Americans, and that was a big part of this week at the convention. You know, there were a lot of great speeches by politicians, but I really loved hearing from the Gold Star families, the 98-year-old D-Day veteran from World War II, these mothers that they've lost their children due to either violence or drugs coming across the border. These are the stories that I thought to be the most captivating.
I agree, and I think they're stories that captivated millions of Americans. The Gold Star families coming up there, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking that that's what they had to do, that Joe Biden didn't ever say the names of their children or their brothers, their daughter-in-laws in public. It's really shocking that he hasn't done that.
And then to hear that MSNBC, Tommy, cuts away from that in their coverage to go to Chris Hayes playing grab ass with all of his panelists who aren't even there at the convention. I mean, what's your takeaway when you see that?
Well, I think it's part of this pattern from the left of disrespecting the people who have suffered under these policies. They try to accuse Republicans on the border, for example, of making up illegal migrant crime, of making it up. But we didn't hear just from politicians talking about it. We heard from a brother who lost his sister. We heard from a mother who lost her son because of the border crisis. Those are real consequences of these policies, real tragedies that are happening. And the left tries to insist they don't exist. And we saw at the convention the complete rebuttal of that these do exist. They need to stop happening, and we need to put policies in place to keep tragedies like this never happening again.
Tommy, I realize your role with the RNC. Maybe you can't speak specifically to the nomination of Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, Trump's vice presidential pick, but I was wondering maybe if you could just describe the feeling, the attitude, the emotion, and the tone and tenor of the RNC and Donald Trump's pick for vice president.
I think it was a fantastic pick for vice president, and that was a sentiment that was shared across everyone that was at the convention, and really everyone that I've spoken to that wasn't at the convention either. I think one of the things and one of the most compelling images of this campaign is going to be President Trump going to East Palestine, Ohio, days after that toxic train derailment, and touring the grounds with J.D. Vance. And unfortunately, it took Joe Biden over a year to go to that toxic train derailment site, even though he promised he would go sooner. And when he went, he barely stayed at all. That contrast of uplifting the voices of the forgotten men and women of this country is going to be a key contrast in this campaign. And I think by naming J.D. Vance, President Trump reaffirmed that when they're in the White House, President Trump and J.D. Vance, these forgotten men and women are going to be forgotten no longer. They're going to be uplifted. We're going to hear from everyday Americans. He's going to be a president for all Americans, and also reinforces President Trump has a forward-looking agenda about fair trade agreements, about making sure we have rising real wages, about making sure that working men and women in this country can get a leg up. And J.D. Vance has the experience and has the record to speak to that in a very compelling and convincing way that I think is very important in this campaign, and it shows why it was such a fantastic pick.
Tommy Pickett, Strategic Communications Director. Find his work at RNC Research. Tommy, great stuff, man. I know you got to get on a plane. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for having me on.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 12 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During our Freedom to Drive, visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, what's up? Hammer here. After a full day of working with Nigel, I could imagine nothing better than going home and getting lazy in a Lazy Boy from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Thompson Furniture in Columbus guarantees the lowest price and free delivery within 75 miles of Columbus and interest-free financing on all Lazy Boy furniture.
Hey, it's Nigel. Right now, Thompson's is having a Lazy Boy 50% off sale. The only place to buy your Lazy Boy furniture is Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Long live the lazy.
Remember the big bad wolf? Michaelis does. Because around here, all that huffing and puffing and blowing houses down stuff comes in the form of rain, wind, and hail. And no matter what your structure is made of, Michaelis is made of first responders and craftsmen who can restore it to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
A quick question for dads. Is your child's school providing them with the skills they'll need to succeed in the real world? Do you feel like they're safe when they go to school? Do you worry about bullying and drugs? Are they getting a solid foundation in the basics, core subjects like math, reading, and science? How about after-school programs? Does your child have access to quality activities like clubs, arts, and sports? If the neighborhood school isn't working for your child, they're not stuck where they are. You and your child have options. Your child can choose another school, one that's a better fit. There are opportunities for your child to attend other traditional public schools, public charter schools, private school, or there's virtual or homeschool learning, whatever fits best for your kid. Don't settle. Get your child the education they deserve. Make a choice. Make a change. Visit myschooloptions.org. That's myschooloptions.org.
Paid for by the Institute for Quality Education.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
B Window is celebrating our independence with $400 off per window, $250 off per patio and entry door, plus 12 months same as cash. Go to bwindow.com for more.
Matt Bear, you talk now.
Eastbound 70 stop traffic, Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. That's a 40-minute delay. Inbound 65 stop traffic, White River Bridge to Meridian Penn for 27 minutes. Also a stall at Meridian Penn blocking the center lane. Northbound 65 stop and go traffic, Southport Road up to the South Split. That is 27 minutes. And eastbound 465 crash clear after Keystone Avenue causing stop and go traffic back to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Hot tubs, 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I love I just yelled at Matt Bear and it didn't faze him one bit. Like, yeah, whatever. Shut up, fatty.
He's a pro, man.
79 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Brickyard 400 weekend, Nige.
Yeah.
Race is back on the oval this weekend. Got a lot of activity this weekend from the Speedway to Raceway Park. I'm kind of geeked up that this is back on the oval again.
Yeah, I wish there was a couple of years ago that we got to go with the FOP because the big convention was in town, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And we get to ride on the big tour buses and stuff. The FOP convention needs to be here every year, I believe.
Right.
I think that would be nice. That was so much fun. And for it to be back in the oval, I mean, what do you think?
I'm excited for. I'm an oval racing guy. I love ovals more than road courses. Like, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I think IndyCar races on the oval is the best racing that's out there. It's better than Formula One, better than NASCAR. But if NASCAR can be on the oval at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the engines and the tires are lined up so it's competitive racing where there's passing for the lead, then I'm all in. I'm an oval guy. So in honor of the Brickyard 400, back out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this weekend on the oval, here is great moments in NASCAR history.
What angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little I'm going to bust his ass.
Tony Stewart, ladies and gentlemen.
Smoke.
Love it. Love it. Have you had one of these $5 McDonald's meals, Nige?
Yeah, yesterday I picked my son up from camp, and we went to McDonald's. He wanted some real food. He didn't exactly enjoy the camp food, and we went to McDonald's. He got the 10-piece, and I got the $5 meal with chicken sandwich, 4-piece chicken nugget, small fry, and a small Coke.
Did it fill you up? Was it good?
Yeah. I don't have any complaints whatsoever. I know it's for a limited time, but I liked it.
Not to be outdone, KFC has seen what McDonald's is doing, and they've got their own meal.
Really?
Wendy's has a $3 breakfast deal. McDonald's has a $5 meal deal. But if you really want to fight inflation, try KFC's new $0 menu.
Yeah. $0?
Yep. A cup of water, 3 paper napkins, and a ketchup packet. All for $0.
What about 2 napkins, 2 ketchup packets, and a water?
$0.
What if I want to substitute barbecue sauce for ketchup?
Hell no. This isn't a food pantry. It's freeloaders like you that are ruining this country. America was once a beacon of promise and hope. Then the rot set in, eroding its soul. Now look, our country is a forlorn husk of decay and sorrow, and it's all because of you.
Good Lord.
Kidding. Still free.
Oh, great.
The KFC $0 meal. Try it today.
Tony Kennett joins us next.
Listen up, Hoosier. This is Gunny speaking, and I'm here to tell you what Senator Todd Young is doing about the mess Biden's creating at the border. The Laken Riley Act ain't no walk in the park, soldier. It's a mission to secure our border. When illegals think they can just waltz in and wreak havoc, they got another thing coming. Senator Young's legislation is going to lock them down tighter than a drum. Young ain't just sitting around saluting. No, sir. He's stopping flow of fentanyl like it's enemy number one. Fighting the flow of fentanyl into Indiana from our southern border, and recognizing that it's causing Hoosier families to lose loved ones far too soon. Joe Biden is responsible for this crisis, and Todd is stopping him. It's time to build the wall, enforce tough immigration laws. Todd Young, a Marine fighting to protect Hoosiers. Hoorah! Paid for by Hoosier Honor PAC. Hoosier Honor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at HoosierHonor.com.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, July 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, July 27th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey race fans, this is Tim Wicker from Electric Plus. When you're looking for an electrical contractor to take care of your next construction project, facility upgrade, or simple maintenance work, make sure you call Electric Plus to give you a professional and top quality project with the best team members in the industry. Just like race car drivers desire to be the best, the mission of Electric Plus is to be the best electrical contractor, period. Visit our website at electricplus.com to see how we can take care of your electrical needs.
Oh, here comes the neighbor's dog again. You know what that means.
Yeah, the owner will be right behind.
Hey guys, I guess the battery in my fence went out again. Hey, how come your dogs never run off?
We use Dog Watch hidden fences. Their batteries last 2 years.
And they're really quick with the install. About as quick as your dog. He's way up there.
Oh, I'll call as soon as I get my steps in. Catch you later. Lucky!
Call Dog Watch Hidden Fences today for your free estimate. 317-791-0444 or IndieDogWatch.com.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care. Simply delivered.
Local news coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich says in a statement, we must defeat him, talking to former President Trump, in November, and we need a candidate that can do that. 31 other Democrats saying that Biden cannot beat Trump, something Republicans have been saying for a while.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House. Tomorrow, former President Trump will be in Michigan holding his first joint rally with running mate J.D. Vance. A day of mourning in Cabot, Pennsylvania, where the community lined the streets for Corey Comparator, the volunteer firefighter and veteran killed at the Trump rally in Pennsylvania last weekend. First responders also paying tribute.
More than 100 fire trucks, police cars, and motorcyclists who followed his flag-draped coffin today in an emotional and beautiful funeral procession.
Fox's Brian Yanis says the FBI continues to search for the would-be assassin's motive. Grounded flights, gridlocked ports, and glitchy apps, part of a global internet outage blamed on a faulty software update affecting Microsoft, but launched by tech company CrowdStrike, which later deployed a fix. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg monitoring the impact on travel.
The secretary said as the delays work themselves out, he will lean on the airlines to make things right for passengers.
We do not consider this the way we would a weather event. This is something that the airlines are responsible for addressing, and I've been focused on making sure the airlines hear that message.
Operations at hospitals, parcel delivery services, and 911 centers were also affected.
Fox's Gernal Scott, CrowdStrike apologizing for the disruptions and emphasizing it was not a cyber attack. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He was second in command. 79 degrees, mostly sunny at the Circle. All clear on your radar. Low of 60 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Sexual harassment and assault are the accusations against a former Indianapolis city employee. Donnie Burgess reports.
Several women have accused Thomas Cook, former Indianapolis chief deputy mayor, of grooming them over the last several years, which resulted in inappropriate sexual relationships, first reported by the Indy Star. Cook was investigated and punished 3 times, confirms Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett, and Cook eventually resigned from the deputy mayor position in 2020. He was then asked to step away from Hogsett's re-election campaign last year. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Banks, hospitals, and even Social Security offices have been affected by CrowdStrike's cyber outage. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says his department still won't let airlines slide.
We have reminded the airlines of their responsibilities to take care of passengers if they experience major delays.
The outage is believed to be the result of a software update from CrowdStrike. This woman's job at a staffing company in Indy was impacted.
I was able to access my bank account. I got my paycheck today. I'm all right. I'm feeling bad for everybody at the airport.
Thousands of people are stranded at airports around the country as Delta, American, and United dealt with the later canceled flights. A motion in the Delphi murders case has been rejected today by the Indiana Supreme Court. Defense attorneys for suspect Richard Allen had asked for Special Judge Francis Gall to be removed from the case. They claimed she showed a bias against their client, Richard Allen, done, and past rulings, the state's high court denied it. And the Eucharist is central to the Catholic faith. Ryan Hedrick reports from the Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis.
Erin Lambert is a college student from Georgia. She says her faith gives her purpose.
If you don't have faith, why anything? This life ends.
And she says being at a religious event like this gives her an opportunity to recharge that faith.
Faith ebbs and flows. You have moments of consolation and moments of desolation, and that's natural. It's cyclical.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
The search for the temporary fix. It's led you back there again. In the pharmacy aisle, looking for the new and improved pill or spray that will clear up your stuffy nose. And you'll give it a try because at least it helps you breathe, right? Yeah, it does. And it may work, but it's hurting you more than it's helping. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we've pioneered simple solutions to nasal breathing problems without the pain and inconvenience of surgery. In-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty require 0 surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. There are few, if any, practices that have been performing the balloon sinuplasty procedure longer than Advent. That's why we're a global destination for those living with nasal breathing problems. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for balloon sinuplasty, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
North side, looking at eastbound 465, crash cleared after Keystone Avenue, still stop and go back to Meridian. On the south side, northbound 65, stop and go traffic, Southport Road up to the south split, that's 27 minutes. Eastbound 70 from Tibbs to the south split takes 28 minutes, stop and go traffic. Same with inbound 65, jammed from White River Bridge down to Meridian Penn, 32-minute travel time, at least the stall cleared. On the southwest side, crash southbound 465 at Kentucky Avenue, right lane block, traffic stop and go back to Sam Jones Expressway. And on the northwest side, northbound 465 stop and go 86 to 865, crash downtown Maryland and Alabama. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we'll have a few clouds early in the evening, but those will fade away overnight. Temperatures will drop into the upper 50s, and winds will be out of the northeast at 5 to 10. Moving towards Saturday, we have another sunny day with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's...
I love it. My name is Nigel. Let's Jason Hammer is here. And we have a special live in studio guest back from Milwaukee, Hammer.
And he comes bearing gifts. The Tonus, Tony Kennett is here.
That's right. It's beer time, gentlemen, straight from the brewery capital of the United States, just for you two.
So you brought myself and Nigel a little something from Milwaukee here. Nige gets the box O beer, and I get the spotted cow. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I forgot what Nigel liked, and I didn't just want to get him some kind of summer shandy. So.
Well, hold on. When you ask me if what kind of beer I like, I just say yes.
Well, see, there you go. Well, it's a win for everyone then.
Hey, first of all, great job covering what was a wild week up in Milwaukee. Like, I've never seen the media attention on a convention like this, considering what happened to Donald Trump last Saturday. And you were there. You were in the mix. You were there when the Secret Service director was being, surrounded by senators barking out questions. You were in the mix for everything, and you brought that coverage to multiple shows here at WIBC, and I think that kicks ass.
I really appreciate it. I loved going to do it. It was an incredibly unique conference. I mean, everyone was really unified and also very down to work. Like, everyone was like whistling like the dwarves in Snow White. Like, all right, grab the pickaxes, gentlemen. It's time to go. And that's so weird coming from a Republican convention.
And I feel like I should be the latest to say congratulations on being the vice presidential nominee this year.
Thank you.
There has been so many
Hoosier Elegy. It's the much lesser known version of Hillbilly Elegy.
There's been so many side-by-sides of J.D. Vance and Tony Kinnett, and they look exactly alike.
Right.
Except you're skinnier and more in shape.
Right.
Well, but you know, I'm also not a Marine, so let's
I understand.
I give him the pass on that.
My favorite meme was somebody said, "Mom, can we stop and get JD Vance?" No, we have JD Vance at home, and it was a picture of you.
the Temu Vance. Yes, it's enjoyable.
Go back to something you started with, Hammer, and I don't know if everybody knows about the incident with the head of the Secret Service at your event at the conference, and there were senators. Was it Blackburn chasing the head of the Secret Service down?
Langford, and then Barrasso, and some guy last starts with a C.
The Oklahoma
Kramer,
senator.
That's
too.
right. No,
Yeah.
Langford from Oklahoma, Kramer from somewhere else. And
so what happened?
Yeah, so the Secret Service Director Cheadle shows up to the Republican National Convention, which, as you and I said last time, is like the last place on earth that you should go given the events of last week. And she shows up not through the main door, not like waltzing in, but she comes in a side door, and immediately about 815 people get a text message because we have eyes and ears everywhere. It's kind of our thing. And it's a text that she's over here right now. Senators, staffers started swooping in, and then to our shock and awe, 4 actual United States senators descended on her and started demanding answers because she didn't give them to them over the last couple of days, and basically doing all, including telling her she needs to step down, get out of here, nobody wants you, you're terrible at your job. And I got this text. I was at a fine establishment across the street called Uncle Mike's, enjoying the evening after a very long day, and hearing that text, I sprinted across the street, jumped not like a barrier, like a fence, but like a large stone bench, and got inside and actually got to witness what was probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen, because the Secret Service didn't know who to tell to get back. What are you going to tell a United States senator to step down? I don't think so.
And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but for those who didn't hear it, what was the gaggle around the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, like? Was this a simple, hey, please tell us what is going on here? Or were these senators pissed off?
Yeah. I mean, it was like all of the Indianapolis road rage, but without the fatalities. I mean, it was wild. And I'm sorry, just keeping it very, very relevant in our fine city. Thanks, Ryan. So those things aside, it really is. It wasn't just like a press gaggle. I mean, it really was like yelling at her. I mean, at one point, Barrasso had his finger out and he was like jamming it in her face. I thought he was going to start telling her to go down to a van by the river.
We spoke with Representative Jim Banks a little bit earlier in the show, and he kind of made it clear it was a little odd that she was even there in Milwaukee to begin with, in a position where she could be seen, like in a suite area where the VIPs go. That comes off almost like a slap in the face.
I think so. And I want to point this out. There are a lot of excellent Secret Service agents out there, but the stars of the week, and I said this to you on the very first night, were the state police. And there were some state police departments that were more present than others. The Indiana State Police was more present. All of their stations ran smooth. There were a ton of them there. A lot of them loved this show, praise God. And I tell you what, it's really cool to see Indiana security doing some of the best job there.
Shout out to Doug Carter, State Police Superintendent. You know, he's been on this show. We consider him a friend of the show. We don't always agree on things, but he had his group ready to roll, man.
I love seeing it. I really do. There was a real sense of pride. Of course, there's a couple of Indiana journalists that also go up with the delegates. Really a neat convention. I know that isn't a fantastic adjective to throw out there. It's nothing extremely special, but to witness that and then see a vice president candidate Vance and see former President Trump get out there and those first 25 minutes, especially in Trump's speech, where I'll never forget that as long as I live.
So let's get into that, right? Because I think all eyes were on Donald Trump. It was an electric night. We've called it toxic masculinity night last night, from Hulk Hogan to Dana White. I mean, there was a lot of Kid Rock.
There was so much testosterone in that room, my arm hair grew like 2 inches.
But when Donald Trump came to that stage and he finally talked about what happened on that Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania, Take me through the feels of that room.
So Trump gets up, and first of all, Trump comes out from the back of the stage. It's just the Trump in like the big glowing theater letters. And at that moment,
Elvis was coming out on the stage.
And at that moment, I turned to a colleague of mine and I said, "All right, it's over." It's like that was the coolest thing. I mean, it's just presentation. It was fantastic.
That's why Lee Greenwood's God bless the USA.
Yeah, and it was really cool considering that again I got a chance to interview him this week and talk to him a little bit. It was really neat to see him singing it. And then Trump comes out, and at the end of the song, there's not as much of the dancing and he was very reserved. And he comes out, and there's a hush that falls over the room, and he started talking to us at the convention, and he tells us this story. And watching how Trump told the story, and watching what at least I consider without a doubt one of the most sincere presentations again in that first 20-25 minutes, I don't know how to describe it to you guys. I was enraptured.
And the fact that he says that he's not going to tell the story again,
the story of his attempt on his life, right?
The most powerful moment for me was when he said, "I'm not supposed to be here," and then we, myself included, started chanting, "Yes, you are supposed to be here."
Heard that.
And then he says, "By the grace of Almighty God, I'm standing here." Dude, I was ready to like run the aisles. I mean, that was awesome.
And for him to have the uniform up there of Corey Comparator, the dad, the firefighter chief that lost his life last Saturday protecting his family, to have that out there in that moment where he just walks away from the microphone, goes up to the uniform, just kind of looks at it, kisses the helmet, walks back, doesn't say a word. I thought that was the moment of the convention.
And I want to make this clear that they did not wheel. There was one liberal columnist who was not there, who made some stupid claim that they had wheeled out the uniform right before Trump.
Corey Griffin of MSNBC, and he's a scumbag.
It absolutely enrages me because I was watching. I have the live stream saved that Trump came out on the exact same time as the uniform. And like he was watching it to make sure like I'm coming out at the same time. The uniform is like on stage. They didn't just wheel it out for a prop and then wheel it away. No, he made that a priority. And then when he was talking about the money that he raised to donate to the family, he's like, "This is in no way compensation, but we will never forget these people."
Can you stick around for one more break?
Sure.
Because you were there at the convention, and we got a lot to break down. Tony Kennett is in studio. If you want to jump on the YouTube chat and see why we always joke about how he's Aldi J.D. Vance, you can check him out right now. Tony Kennett's coming back for one more segment, but right now, Matt Baer is going to get us up to date on what's happening on the roads.
Crash at Southwest Side, southbound 465 at Kentucky Avenue. That's blocking the right lane, stopping traffic back to Sam Jones. Eastbound 70 jammed up after Holt Road to the south split. That is a 36-minute trip. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic from the White River down to Meridian Penn. Looking at northbound 65 stop and go from the south side, Southport Road up to the south split takes 23 minutes. Eastbound 465 stop and go after Meridian over to Allisonville Road. And southbound Keystone Parkway coming down from Carmel, stop and go after 116th Street to 465. It's a crash on the southwest side, Kentucky Avenue south of 465. Crash downtown. That's Maryland and Alabama. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here at about 5:48, Racing Rachel from Horseshoe Casino Indy. She is on the Celebrity Beer Bong. If you want to see a hot chick suck beer through a tube, you've come to the right place. That's coming up here in just a little bit. But coming up next, more with Tony Kennett, the Tonus, recapping what happened in Milwaukee. 79 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You got several different cable news outlets and their sources reporting that home prices are actually expected to decline into 2025, even after the election. So right now, you want to maximize your home sales price now before this downturn with the only agent proven to sell for top dollar. That's Mark Deedle. Mitch from Martinsville's house is getting a little too big for him. He wanted to downsize. Heard about Mark on our radio show. Mark was fantastic. He was able to get multiple offers within 48 hours and closed in 30 days.
And what separates Mark Deedle from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. That's what makes Mark Deedle the best. Call him today, 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
High five. Up top. Heck yeah.
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep. Dave's feeling it, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, my name is Nigel. Hammer's here. We have a very special live in-studio guest.
The Tonus, Tony Kennett. Host of the Tony Kennett Cast, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock, and an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal.
We call him the Tonus because that's the X handle, at the Tonus.
That's right. Nicknames from high schools, kid. They last.
So, again, you were up in Milwaukee all week long. So, Donald Trump's speech last night. Nigel and I kind of talked about this earlier. Representative Jim Banks talked about this earlier. First 20 to 30 minutes. Passionate, tear-jerking when he talked about the loss of the dad that was there, Corey Comparator, that was at the rally, and he had the uniform on the stage.
Which, by the way, we have to point out that he also mentioned the other two guys' names, and flawlessly. Yeah. He didn't go, "Hi, Jackie, her burgers, nigger." Like, he didn't mix up any names. It was right there. It was clear. And, again, given the competition at the moment, although that could change, how refreshing to hear a campaign speech or just a speech at a convention where the names are remembered.
Right. That took us to about 10:50, 10:55-ish, right?
Yep.
The president, former president, did not get speaking until after midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
The second half of this speech, you could tell he went off teleprompter, and it was rally Trump.
Yep. And I've got 2 points to make, and I was thinking about it as I was driving the speed limit on the way down here to pop in today.
You would never go above the speed limit.
No, and to that old lady on the side of 65, I'm sure she'll be just fine. Anyway, I thought there were 2 big points that should be necessary to draw. Number one, yeah, he should have cut the speech shorter. He really should have probably only gone about 10 to 15 minutes after and closed it off, I guess. I think
whatever.
But that's my point. That's the second point is whatever. Number one, no one probably watched that late because everyone's already made up their mind on Trump and Biden. Number two, the dude was just shot at. If he wants to go for a little while and talk and do rally Trump, you know what? His last rally was cut short. So he wants to talk for 93 minutes. That's what I said. I was like, you know what? I would complain, but these are rollover minutes from the last rally. So, like, good for him. Go ahead, man.
So the talking points, though, from CNN and MSNBC, because, again, I did my homework of watching all of the post coverage on these networks.
God bless you.
You're welcome, by the way.
You're the real hero.
Their arguments were, okay, the Trump supporter is going to vote for Trump anyway. The guy that likes Trump rally is going to vote for Trump anyway. The somewhat folks in the middle, the folks that might not like his personality but feel like he's best for the country, that are kind of on the fence in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, these states. Did the second half of that speech hurt anything?
No, and there's 2 reasons why. Number one, most people in the country have already made up their mind on Trump. Like everyone knows who Trump is,
right?
Clearly.
What have you not seen from Donald Trump
exactly
to make your mind up?
As though you were actually thinking that, man, if he comes out and doesn't talk like he's talked for the last 7 years, then well, maybe all there's no one like that in the entire country. I'm sorry. People have seen how bad it is with the media and how bad it is with Biden and Harris that they're choosing Trump because they remembered his administration as something better. And that's the point. I don't think that lost anybody. To be honest with you, I think that a lot of people probably, as soon as they started to recognize rally Trump, they shut the TV off. I mean, that's when I went to the bathroom in the speech there at the rally. I was like,
people kind of went to bed at that point.
I've heard this before. Okay. I mean, he's passed some of the stuff. So then I went and then I came back and then I went, come on. I mean,
there's a part of me that thought, because you know how Donald Trump is. He's a showman. Yes, he's a politician, but he's also a showman. He saw the juice that Tucker Carlson brought, that Hulk Hogan brought, that Kid Rock and Dana White brought.
He wanted to harness that.
He didn't want to have this sad, sappy speech to go home on. I almost got shot. He had to go rally Trump to try to get the crowd back.
Yeah, good point.
Do you buy that?
I mean, Trump's just an entertainer. He sees the crowd, and if the crowd cheers him on, he's going to keep going. I mean, that's how it works if you have an entertainment person that goes into politics. Lawyers are kind of trained to shut up after they make their point. That's why they make good politicians. Whereas, if you get any of us up in front of a crowd and they start laughing, we'll go until they stop laughing. I mean, that's just what an entertainer does.
You give the people what they want.
Yes.
Tony Kennett joining us. He covered the RNC up in Milwaukee. Awesome coverage all week long. When Hulk Hogan went to that stage, I didn't know what to expect, Tony. Honestly, I didn't know if it was going to be cringeworthy or what. But man, that may have been the speech of the night.
I was so freaking excited. I wanted to hear him go, all the little Hulksters know. And he gave us.
You went back to your childhood, right?
Yes. I was so excited at that moment. I was already like ready to go. And at that moment, I just hit like a new plane of existence. And I was like, he's going to rip his shirt, isn't he? And then he did. And all of us, again, in media row as well, the journalists, right? The non-biased, nonpartisan reporters.
Sure.
We all mouths open. No way. How much must it suck to have been a European at that moment?
And what I really dug about Hulk Hogan, I told Nigel this earlier, the first 5 minutes were the character. He was Hulk Hogan. He was, let me tell you something, brother. But then he kind of broke down and said, my real name is Terry Bollea. I play a character, Hulk Hogan. I'm an American too. And let me tell you why now I feel comfortable supporting this candidate. And then, of course, at the very end, he gave the people what they wanted. I thought that was really cool.
I did too. And again, you've seen this a lot in the last couple of weeks, whether it's a Silicon Valley nerd talking about how he's going to be, shifting his tech company over, or it's Elon Musk saying he's going to give huge chunks of money a week, or you've got people in blue Virginia areas, blue New York, California that are now flying Trump flags, wearing Trump hats openly. Something has fundamentally shifted in this country.
60 seconds before we bring on Emma Jo Morris, political editor for Breitbart. She has a great perspective, too. Joe Biden is talking about, the rumors that he's not going to make it through the weekend. Even the people in his inner circle are saying, Joe Biden might step down. How do you feel about that?
I've had 16 hours of sleep in the last 7 days. I have no idea what's going on, and I, like the rest of you, are waiting. I'm not going to. That's why Jerry's hosting my show tonight. I have no comment.
Okay.
Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish filling in on the Tony Kinnett cast tonight at 7 o'clock. Listen, I'm going to tell you something honestly, and I'm not just BSing here. This radio station means something to me, and I know it means something to Nigel.
Absolutely.
This is one of the most powerhouse radio stations in America, one of the most heritage radio stations in America. And what you did, bringing us that coverage in Milwaukee all week long, people would dream of that kind of coverage. If you had a news talk station in any other city, they would dream of that coverage. And you did it every night. You went on every show, and you delivered, my friend. And I'm damn proud of you, and I'm happy to call you a colleague.
Thank you guys very much. I love the station, and I got to tell you, man, it's wonderful being around on these airwaves.
Tony Kinnett, the Daily Signal, and the Tony Kinnett cast, 7 o'clock here on 93 WIBC. All right, Emma Jo Morris of Breitbart. Coming up next, we got celebrity beer bong on the backside.
Yeah.
Right now, Harrison Silcox has the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They used to work in the mayor's office. Partly cloudy, 79 degrees in the circle. You've got a clear radar in Indianapolis. Low tonight, 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 529. Sexual harassment and assaults are the accusations against a former Indianapolis city employee. Donnie Burgess reports.
Several women have accused Thomas Cook, former Indianapolis chief deputy mayor, of grooming them over the last several years, which resulted in inappropriate sexual relationships, first reported by the Indy Star. Cook was investigated and punished 3 times, confirms Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett, and Cook eventually resigned from the deputy mayor position in 2020. He was then asked to step away from Hogsett's re-election campaign last year. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Banks, hospitals, and even Social Security offices have been affected by CrowdStrike's cyber outage today. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says his department won't let airlines slide.
We have reminded the airlines of their responsibilities to take care of passengers if they experience major delays.
The outage is believed to be the result of a software update from CrowdStrike. If you haven't heard, former President Donald Trump accepted his party's nomination for president on the last day of the RNC. Fox's Aisha Hasni reports.
Democrats and Republicans alike across the country are trying to digest this more than 90-minute speech, the longest in convention history, and apparently started off with a very changed tune, which is what the campaign said the president would do.
As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together, or we fall apart.
Now, there was also a very touching tribute to fallen fire chief Corey Comparatori, killed shielding his family from Trump's would-be assassin.
The Democrat National Convention is next month in Chicago. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita was one of many Republicans in attendance for Trump's speech last night.
Attempted murder of President Trump, obviously made this different, and it put a resolve, I think, on the convention.
Talking with WIBC's Tony Katz this morning. For the 30th anniversary of the Brickyard 400, Cup cars will be racing on the IMS Oval for the first time in 4 years.
Ticket sales for this year's race we're pretty excited about, so much better than we were in 23 when we were on the road course, and even better than we were in 2019, the last time we were on the Oval.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Bulls qualifying for the races tomorrow, race day Sunday. And with traffic at 532, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison crash south side, northbound 65 after Southport Road at Edgewood Avenue, and this is blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic almost to Southport Road. After that, you do have that delay running up to the south split. It's northbound 65 from Southport Road on up to the south split. And looking at inbound 65, that stopped traffic from MLK down to Meridian Penn, moving in parts, 17-minute delay. Eastbound 70 still bad coming into the south split from Tibbs Avenue, 39 minutes on the travel time. On the southwest side, crash at southbound 465. It continues Kentucky Avenue slow past Sam Jones Expressway. Also a crash on Kentucky Avenue south of 465. Crash downtown. This is Maryland and Alabama. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better hot tubs. 24-hour water filtration, purification, and aeration means better water quality. Natural minerals and Epsom salts means better relaxation. Discover more at royalspa.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Looks like we'll have a few clouds early in the evening, but those will fade away overnight. Temperatures will drop into the upper 50s, and winds will be out of the northeast at 5 to 10. Moving towards Saturday, we have another sunny day with high temperatures in the lower 80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Go straight to the hotline and bring on Breitbart politics editor, one of our favorite, Emma Jo Morris. So much to get to. I hope we have time for all of it. More calls for Joe Biden to step down. Even rumors that he is considering stepping down. His own inner circle is considering moving aside. I want to ask you if we have time. Even still lots of questions concerning last Saturday and the security lapses at the Trump rally and the attempt made on Donald Trump's life. But let's go to last night. I mean, I know you were born in Canada. You are an American citizen, however. Did Tucker Carlson and Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock bring out the America in you last night?
Definitely. I felt like I was bleeding red, white, and blue watching that whole thing last night. It was incredible.
And then the big man, Donald Trump, the first time he has spoken since the attempt made on his life. Overall, big picture, your takeaway from Donald Trump's address last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible. It was an incredible scene as like this great American comeback. There was something so heroic about him just being there, walking out on stage. He has the bandage on. You know, you're thinking, like, you're looking at that and thinking, how did this guy, like, he just got shot in the head. He literally just got shot in the head, and 5 days later he's out on a stage, you know, cameras, people watching him from all over the world, millions of people. And it's just this remarkable kind of heroic scene of him walking out. And then obviously, you know, he opens up and he really kind of arrested you when you're watching, because he says, I'm going to tell this story once because it's too painful to tell. And he goes through and recalls that what I'm sure must have been one of the most traumatic, if not the most traumatic moment of his life, when a bullet pierced his ear a quarter of an inch away from blowing his brains out. And what that must have been like, for him to be there and for him to recall it. It was just moving. It was inspiring. It was gripping. It was just something to behold. It was remarkable, actually historic. And then obviously from there he delivers, you know, in another historic feat, delivers the longest speech, I think, for a nomination.
Yeah. It's a little long. I don't know if they planned it that way exactly, but yeah, it's Donald Trump. What are you going to do?
It appeared that it didn't. Like, it appeared that he was kind of just riffing. But listen, here's the thing with that. It's like, you know, on the one hand, I was kind of going into that expecting this tight, punchy, moving, intense speech, and it ended up being more like, you know, just regular Trump. And I thought about it for a minute, and I realized, like, that's kind of the great thing about it, right? Is this guy just went through, you know, facing death, and he comes out and he's the same. He's unmoved. You know, I mean, I'm sure he's not spiritually unmoved, and you could see that by how he was talking about God. But I mean, just in terms of his, like, contents of his character, of who he is, he's still the same guy. You know, he wasn't rattled by it. He wasn't destroyed by it. He wasn't cowering from it. It's Donald Trump, and he's still here, and he's still the leader of the Republican Party. And I think that that's what that speech was really saying. If you look at the subtext of it and why he did it that way, it's like, he's still him, and it's going to take more than that to take him off the board. I think that was kind of the message from it.
Now, Emma Jo, let's not get carried away here. I was told from Joy Reid at MSNBC that, yeah, Donald Trump got shot in the head, but if Joe Biden recovers from COVID, it's the exact same thing.
Wow.
Isn't she just surprised? I was actually watching. I was watching MSNBC last night while I was watching the lead up to Trump's speech, and I was watching the commentary. Joy Reid was on. She was on twice, actually. They, swapped her off to get a drink of water and then got her back on. She was rearing to go. She called the bandage covering the bullet wound on Donald Trump's head an ostentatious bandage. That was that was her critique of the, I guess, aesthetics of his bullet wound. She's amazing. She's truly amazing. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be there triggering her for till his dying breath. Let me tell you. And
one of the things you were doing so we didn't have to, Emma Jo Morris from Breitbart, you were sort of maybe monitoring or covering other media outlets as they were talking about Donald Trump. Can you kind of compare and contrast CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and some of the other outlets? I mean, I know like MSNBC cut away from some of the women the night before that were talking about the loss of life because of Biden's border policies and fentanyl and crime in New York. They actually cut away from those people that were speaking.
Oh, yeah. They also cut away from the Gold Star families from Afghanistan.
Yes.
No, these people have not only, I don't want to say no respect, because that's not even, it's utter disdain. They have utter disdain for the people of this country. You know, the thing that was really special about the RNC, and they did this in 2020 as well, is that they take regular American citizens who don't have a national platform normally, who just go to work and care about their families and live in their communities and don't seek the spotlight and don't seek fame or recognition. And they give them this incredible platform, this national and global platform, really, to talk about the issues that they face, the issues that they care about. And it's something that's so special. This is like a Trump-era thing, if I'm not mistaken, and it's totally brilliant. And you get to see how the policies by the Democratic Party and the establishment really affect everyday people and the Americans who apparently, ostensibly, hold the power in this country and own this country. So MSNBC, though, doesn't have the airtime for them, doesn't have the airtime for the people who have had their family members murdered by illegal aliens who broke into this country and then proceeded to commit crimes against our citizens. They don't have airtime for the parents of our young people who fight and die in foreign wars that we still can't really discern where our national interest is in them. They don't have the airtime for that, and it's honestly utterly despicable. While Joy Reid is sitting up there, and by the way, in New York, where they had just a screen showing the Milwaukee convention, but they were in New York, couldn't be bothered to go among the plebeians, you know, in the Midwest. And she's sneering at them. It's repulsive.
Emma Jo Morris joining us here, Breitbart News political editor. Am I the only one that's a little concerned here that we haven't had a press conference from the Secret Service? Like, if I were trying to do some damage control here, I'd be out there every day, at least trying to answer questions. Even if you didn't have the answers, at least give off the impression that you're trying. There are more questions now than we had last Saturday when it comes to the assassination attempt of Donald Trump.
Well, now, hold on. The director of the Secret Service came out and said the roof was too sloped.
Oh, that's right. The slope.
The response from the Secret Service, Emma, has just been bizarre to me.
It would be dangerous. No, you know, I mean, listen, which, by the way, I have commentary on the roof slope, actually. Yeah. But first, you know, you're saying that you can't believe that she hasn't done any sort of big press conference or addressed this in any way. But that would require, you're missing something in that equation, because that would require humility, which this person does not possess. This is a Washington bureaucrat who knows that she will never have any consequences for this, who doesn't feel like she owes you any answers. She doesn't understand the concept of accountability. That's not part of her lexicon. That's not part of her consciousness. And frankly, she doesn't care. She doesn't care what you think. She doesn't care what your questions are. She's a government employee, and you can go punch a wall. But regarding, you know, but like honestly, and regarding the sloped roof, I mean, that was just so stunning because, you know, listen, on the one hand, this woman did give one interview, I think, to NBC, and she spoke to CNN as well. They had something in print. And she's talking about, the buck stops with me. And she gives this like cutesy little, form answer to appease whatever journalist is slobbering over her at the moment. But the behavior has no bearing on that claim because, look, the sloped roof. Keep in mind that this 20-year-old loser, I'm not even going to say his name, climbed up on there, was in a bear crawl with a ladder, climbed up on there with his rifle kit, stationed himself there, pointed and shot at the president, got shot by a sniper, and then was a dead corpse on that sloped roof, quote unquote, and his body did not move 1 inch. So it was too dangerous for the Secret Service to climb up there and stand up there and monitor the area, but it wasn't sloped enough for a dead body to fall off of it.
Finally, Emma Jo Morris from Breitbart Politics editor. Before we let you go, Joe Biden, the rumors are swirling again, hot and heavy. He's not going to make it past the weekend. Even headlines suggesting that Biden's inner circle is telling Joe Biden, hey, it's time to step aside, and Biden's considering it. Do you buy it?
Like, I don't know. Because
That's a hard question, isn't it?
Like who in the inner circle? Because as far as I know, the only people Joe Biden actually cares about, if that, is his wife and his kid.
Yep.
And that's it. So, I mean, I'm sure he likes Ron Klain and Anita Dunn or whatever, but I don't think that he actually takes their opinion to heart. I think Joe Biden is about Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is about the Bidens. And not to say that it would be impossible to convince him to step down. I mean, he is a grifter after all. He has a price tag. We know that. Obviously, we know that. He's probably the most known for having a price tag. But at the same time, do I think that he's responding to people whinging and wringing their hands in front of him about how he's going to lose the election? No, I don't think that makes a real impact on him. I think it's going to ultimately be up to him in deliberation with, like, literally his immediate blood or wife. And that's kind of it. I don't know what the conversations between them are, but I would think that those are the only conversations that actually probably impact this decision or matter. And I don't think he's going to go away in the night. I don't think that it's going to be some light thing. And I definitely don't think he can be convinced by the New York Times or Obama or even, like Ron Klain for that matter.
And then Joe Morris, Breitbart News Politics editor. You're one of the best, our favorite guests. Thank you for calling in. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon, Emma Jo.
Thank you. Likewise. Thanks.
All right. If you want to see a hot chick suck beer through a tube, get to the YouTube feed right now because our pal Racing Rachel from Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis, she's here for Celebrity Beer Bong Beer Sample Friday. Next.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TSY.
Wife and I and the kids just made the quick trip down 65 to purchase some outdoor furniture for our new patio from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. No place I'd rather be than hanging out with Spencer and Michelle and Nick and everybody there at Thompson Furniture. They're family-owned since the 1920s, and there's a reason why they're so successful. Not only the great prices they have in recliners, lazy boys, sofas, outdoor furniture, the big green egg mattresses, but it's customer service, the personalized customer service, and let's talk honestly, the free delivery.
Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. They still have free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. So whether you need an awesome Tempur-Pedic mattress, the kind that's got the little massage feature in it, oh, it's awesome, or a couch, or a table, or a love seat, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. This is where you want to go. They support what we do here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. Take care of these guys. ThompsonFurniture.net. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
It's almost here. The best days of summer return this August with your 2024 Indiana State Fair. Join us for endless fun, where there's something for everyone. Take a stroll and enjoy your favorite traditions, or enjoy one of the many new additions. This year, we're celebrating the art and nature of fun, presented by Newfields. Grab discount tickets today at indianastatefair.com. 15 magical days full of fun. Returns August 2nd through 18th. Closed Mondays. Plan your trip today and save big. See you at the fair.
Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust our fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
Oh, we've got Racing Rachel in studio. If you want to see a hot chick bong a beer, get to the YouTube feed right now. Look for the WIBC YouTube feed. That's coming up right after Matt Baird checks the roads.
All right, we're just hit coming out of the north split. It's eastbound as 70 blocking the right lane, and this is added to our travel time that was already bad. Northbound 65 from Southport Road up to the north split. And then to make that turn on eastbound 70, 51 minutes, that's 5-1. Also a crash at the very beginning of that delay. It's northbound 65 after Southport Road blocking 2 left lanes, and that's causing a stop traffic situation. Eastbound 70 from the south split out to Tibbs, 42 minutes. Inbound 65 from MLK down to Meridian Penn, 29 minutes. And then looking at the south side, eastbound 465 slow off Kentucky Avenue to Harding. Traffic sponsored by B Window. B Window is celebrating independence with big savings, $400 off per window and $250 off select doors, plus 12 months same as cash. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for more. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
79 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and it's Beer Sample Friday!
Right now,
Hammer and Nigel present
Beer Sample
Friday.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beers on sale, people. Come down,
Get you some. Brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Hammer. Beer Sample Friday has kind of morphed into something bigger, something better, something more interesting, hasn't it?
It's morphed into hot chicks putting tubes in their mouth and sucking beer through it. And that's what we've got today, baby. Racing Rachel from Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis is with us. How are you, love?
Hey, guys. I'm good. Been at the pool all day with the kids, and I was like, yeah, we got to go downtown, bong a beer, and then we're going to go find a patio and chill. So Mom of the Year right here.
Mom of the Year. You posted on social media earlier today that you went to get an oil change in your car, and somebody brought this up. Is that true?
I literally, this is 100% true. But let me tell you, that guy Jason at Riley Park Tire, where I take my car, loves me, and he follows like my bets sometimes. He's not like a huge bettor, but like he'll, take some of my picks and stuff. So when I walked in, he was like, "Racing Rachel, you excited about later?" And I'm looking at him like I'm thinking, I'm going to the pool with my kids. I thought maybe he thought there was racing or something, and we didn't race today. And he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna go bong a beer with Hammer and Nigel." And I was like, "What?"
You've got a ride waiting for you outside too, right?
Yeah, Heather's my friend got me and the kids. So we're it was hilarious. I cannot believe he knew that I was doing that. I was half asleep. It was 10 a.m. It was like the one day I got to sleep in, and I'm like, how did you know that?
What's going on with the racing at the casino?
Yeah, we have a this Saturday, so tomorrow we're racing 10:45 a.m. We've got quarter horse fun stuff. Bring the kids, playgrounds, lots of fun outside.
And you're like the host of it. You're like the handicapper there.
Yeah. I do the pre-race show. Then I do handicapping, live interviews for stakes and promotions. We do, T-shirt tosses with the kids and social media stuff and stuff like that. And so, and then we've got a week break.
Let's not forget about the family leisure commercials. You're all over TV. I mean, you're the spokesmodel.
Yeah, we need to talk Kevin into paying me per ad. What do you say?
You need to talk family leisure into partnering with Hammer and Nigel. That's what we need to do, Rachel.
Hey, I gotta worry about myself. I also sell sponsorships at the track, so Kevin gives any money to moi. You guys can pick up your own deal.
All I'm saying is everything we do sells out. Why are we not partners? That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, we've put it on the record. I might put in a good word for you.
All right, get this bong out here. Let's see what you got, woman.
So listen,
She does not need my help at all. She wants to do it
you
all
guys,
herself.
I went to Ball State. I don't know what you think is going on here, but okay, let me show everybody for YouTube. All right.
All right.
You have to you pinch it and then you pour it.
Okay. All right.
And then
you pinch and pour.
Pinch and pour because you guys.
So wait, you're pinching the tube. You're pinching the funnel.
Pinching the tube and it's filling up.
All right.
I will have you take that so this doesn't fall over.
Okay.
Now you put your thumb in it.
All right. You put your thumb in the funnel.
Yes. Now
And-
this gives you less foam and then.
Okay, now I'm going to count you down. When I say go.
No, wait. I have to let the bubbles go up.
But time is a factor here, Rachel.
I know, I'm not
60
gonna. I'm not
seconds.
gonna put it in my mouth yet.
Well, boy, if you had a dollar for every time you've said that.
I'm gonna
Not yet, she
I'm
said.
going to unfold it.
Okay.
Let the bubbles go up, and then you can count me down. Hold on.
Boy,
See?
This is a master class.
Okay, so look, see how the bubbles
This is a
go up?
master class,
This
yes.
is what I taught. Okay, I'm gonna tell you
Get
guys.
ready for timer,
In
Allison.
college, I taught the girls how to do this because the boys would do it like you do, and then you get all this foam and
Yep,
bubbles, and then
I
that
know.
makes them.
All
throw
right,
up.
here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go, Rachel, go. Get it.
Oh,
Get it.
that
get
was
it.
a master
Oh,
class.
look at that.
That was unbelievable.
Just here to make
What's
my
the time, Allison?
2.6.
Oh! Rachel! Incredible!
That's a record.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Good seeing you.
The weekend is underway. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
That is a lesson to the
Deals keep coming at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Tony Katz here at Andy Moore Ford. The people, the selection, the service, everything you want. Shop their wide selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, all marked with more savings, so you can be sure you're driving home with the best deal. And their commercial truck center is currently undergoing big changes, which means bigger and better things for you coming soon. Stop by today. Check out every vehicle they have on the lot and all the electric vehicles they've got. The Mustang Mach-E, the E-Transit, and that F-150 Lightning, all in stock with more arriving daily. The all-electric F-150 Lightning has you covered with seating up to 5, intelligent backup power, and onboard power for all your tools and gear. And they've got the incentives, the rebates, the federal, the state incentives that can save you up to $7,500 instantly on site. Talk to Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield about your new car, your new truck, or your new electric vehicle. Andy Moore Ford, M-O-H-R. AndyMooreFord.com.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. Indiana's ag bioscience sector contributes as much to the state's economy as auto manufacturing does, according to a new report from Agrinovus, Indiana. CEO Mitch Fraser says the sector employs more than 147,000 people and generates $22.7 billion in gross domestic product.
I think that context is so powerful in a state that is so good at auto manufacturing and so good at agriculture and ag bioscience. To have two cornerstones for this economy to continue to grow is absolutely incredible, and that's new data that I'd not seen prior to this report.
The report also identifies growth opportunities, including creating a network in which farmers could form partnerships with ag bioscience companies to spur innovation. You can connect to the full report at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Texas-based investment firm Blue Spring Wealth Partners is entering the Indiana market by acquiring